Hey guys, this is Marco, the Watch Cardinal. Hello everybody. Thank you all for joining me. I am just going to drop the link in the chat. Sorry I didn't do that earlier. Just going to drop the link now. Let me know how the sound is. Make sure I'm okay sound-wise. In terms of topics today, just going to do a little bit of housekeeping. I just want to introduce a few things. Of course, talk to you a little bit about what the future plans of the channel are now that I'm pretty much done school, so I'll be able to be back uploading videos again. Should be good. And yeah, let's just get into a few topics today. So first things first, I got this beautiful, just this amazing Bosphorus leather roll. Just absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. It smells so good, guys. It's actually kind of a very addicting smell. It's got this really nice suede interior. I'm going to do a full review on it and a video on it as well. Oh, hold on. The clip actually at the bottom isn't securely lodged. There we go. So it's actually a beautiful Bosphorus leather roll. Just gorgeous. Oh, and the interior just smells absolutely incredible. Guys, I'm going to be doing a video review of this roll. I'm also going to be giving away 2 Bosphorus leather rolls. So 2 3-watch Bosphorus leather rolls and a Mirage watch roll as well. This is a 2-watch roll that I used to use, so I'm going to give this one away. It's been used for like a week. Basically, it's pretty much brand new. So, yeah. Guys, make sure you're subscribed. You like the video, of course. Make sure to upvote, upvote, upvote. And if you'd like to join me on the stream, by all means, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to post the link again. The link. No, I didn't sniff the other one, guys. I did not grease this. Are you gonna? Are you giving it away? You had your nose all over. No, that 4-watch roll I'm keeping for myself. So, yeah. But the other ones I am giving away, obviously. I actually got them right here. If you guys want me to show them to you guys, just let me know, and I'd be happy to do that. So, diving to first kind of today's topic is a JLC Polaris chronograph in blue. A JLC Polaris chronograph in blue. That's right, guys. Mr. 2 is not feeling the JLC Polaris chronograph in blue. And I got to tell you guys, I understand. I totally understand. There is a certain part of me that loves this watch. It's gorgeous. You know, it is very, very nice. The craftsmanship, the quality, everything about it is gorgeous. But I got to tell you guys, it's no Rolex. It is no Rolex, guys. And, you know, that is the one thing I got to be honest with you. That is that I can't stress enough. You know, I posted it in the chat earlier. I'm going to pull up the comments. I will say this. The JLC is a great watch, but it's no Rolex. There's just a different feeling when having a Rolex on the wrist, in my opinion. It's like a status symbol that makes you feel comfort and joy that you've made it. You are successful. JLC is nice, but doesn't give you that same joy and warm feeling. And I got to tell you guys, that is my opinion. We got Hassan and our good man Burbing Hard. Hello, guys.
What's up, Marco?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Hassan.
Thanks for joining me.
Hey, Burbing Hard.
Yeah, guys. I'm just talking about this JLC. Guys, I understand. It's no Rolex, guys. When you've made it in life, you want things that make you happy first and foremost. That's the first thing, right? The JLC, it's not doing for him. And I got to tell you guys, I understand. I totally get it.
I have, so I don't know where I got this idea from, but some people, like, if you have like too big of a collection, right, you're thinking like, okay, maybe I need to pare it down. Start keeping track of like how often you wear like each watch, right? Like a calendar. This is starting to sound really, really nerdy, huh? I don't even know if I should say this.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's almost, I don't want to call it like a watch wearing diary, but essentially it almost is.
Jesus.
Where you
I feel bad for Mr. 2.
But he hasn't quite gone like that far off the deep end, but he's only, I think he says he's worn it once. And the one time he wore it out of the house, his friends said like, nice to sew.
Right.
So I don't know.
The watch is not for him. It's a beautiful watch. It's a beautiful brand, but it's not for him. Like I myself think of these things as an accessories that I complete myself. It's not just a statement piece. Like it's an accessory that when I wear, I complete my outfit. It makes me feel good about myself. It makes me look to people that with this positive energy. If I'm not gonna wear something that will makes me feel like happy about myself, then it means it's not for me. Correct?
I gotta tell you guys, that's the thing, right? And I told him this on his live stream this morning. He said, like, just to go to this, Loomhand says AC3 sold it for Rolex, so why can't Mr. 2? Exactly, why not? And Spence R says, non-watch people know Rolex. If you buy a JLC for any other reason than you love it, you will be disappointed. He probably didn't connect with it. That's it, exactly. That's what I told him. But it's a good mistake to make because he didn't do it on a super expensive watch, and that he realizes now, like, okay, Rolex is really what makes me happy, and he didn't buy something that was, kind of a lot more expensive and probably just as difficult to sell, and then lost a bunch of money on it. You know what I mean? He'll probably lose like a couple $100 realistically, but it won't be anything too bad.
This photo doesn't do it justice, though. Like oh, you're muted.
Right. Sorry, Mike. This rodent mic is just garbage, guys. It just always unplugs and replugs back in. So I'm just gonna stop using it, honestly. Fucking garbage.
Sorry, freaking rodent.
Yeah. So there's definitely a better picture for it here. This is the best one. So it's got like 3 finishing on the actual watch, right? It's got that matted kind of frosted finish on the outer ring. Mm-hmm. It's got the inner ring, which is like it's almost like carved. I mean, it looks like a circular pattern, if I'm being honest. And then it's got that sunburst blue in the middle. But guys, it's no Rolex at the end of the day. But while we talk about JLC, have you guys seen the video on the new 90 years anniversary Reverso? Most amazing watch release in years. Yeah. No. You know what I'm looking forward to? What they're going to do for the 100th anniversary. That'll be, I'm sure, a pretty sick watch. Very nice. And the ad is really nice too.
Yeah, I've only seen the ad.
Yeah. Tommy says, I didn't know his JLC was a Polaris. Laugh my ass off. He should sell. Listen, guys, it's a great watch. There's better watches out there, if I'm being totally honest with you.
I have a question.
Right. Go ahead.
If he go back to where he bought it from and tell them, like, oh, I made a mistake, and can he just replace it with something else, or? No,
can't sell it back. It's final sale.
Like he has some. He want to buy something from the same dealer, right?
I think so, right?
He cannot just swap it and tell them.
He won't want it. The dealer won't want it because it's so hard to sell. It is very hard to move. Right, it's very hard.
Want this watch.
Right. Big Country asks, Omega Planet Ocean 43 for a discount diver. Perfect. Those go for great. In terms of bargain buying, probably one of the best bargain buys there is, man. I would get it 100%. I wouldn't think about it twice. I like actually the Planet Ocean. If you can pull off the side, get the Planet Ocean GMT. They make a couple of different variations. There's that blue-orange one. I like the Oreo one. That's what I like to call, or what JJ likes to call, the Bear Clooney special. That's Bear Clooney's favorite one. And there's also just the regular kind of black one with kind of the white. It's just like black and white and silver or stainless steel kind of hands and indices. All 3 of those are great options. Personally, I'd go for the Oreo or the kind of black one. But yeah, it's it. If you want to get just a diver, sure. It's an amazing one. So just to get to this, Rolex is for guys that want to show off to others. JLC is for guys that want to show off to themselves. Yes, but at the same time, you got to buy what you enjoy wearing on the wrist. Do you know what I mean? If you don't enjoy wearing a JLC, there's no point in showing off to yourself if you just don't wear the thing. You know what I mean? You're not showing anybody. You're not showing it off to yourself because you just don't enjoy it. Sometimes what you like to show off to yourself is what you also like to show off to others. Tormo says, I mean, we can't tell another man what to like. If he ain't feeling the watch, then so be it. Sell it and get what you like. 100%. Oh, it's Hybris, Mechanica, caliber 185. Oh, yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about. So, that crazy one, right? It's like that, that's this one here. Yeah, listen, guys, I got to be honest with you. At the price you'd be paying for this, oof, I wouldn't be buying this. I got to tell you guys. I got to be totally honest with you. I would not be buying this.
But the moon phase, and it's a perpetual calendar, right?
Right. So this is. I'm pretty sure this is what's it called? Isn't this a you know that Patek Philippe? What's it called? It's that rose gold one that Archie brought up the other day. The constellation. Isn't it like a constellation type? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Isn't it a constellation complication? So it tells you the nighttime constellations, right?
That's on the very back. Yeah. So there's like, what is it? Like 4 different faces to it.
Right. Exactly.
That have complications or time with it. Yeah. The moon phase. I can't remember if that's the one that's on the very back of it.
Right.
But it is pretty insane watchmaking.
Yeah, Alex brings up a good point, says Reverso is the only JLC to buy. Forget about the other lineups. You know what, guys? I actually tend to agree. It's the classic model. It's the one that everybody gets to. It's still quite liquid. It'll get you the kudos that you're looking to get if you enjoy it. And, I think you don't really need anything else.
Other than the price, the only other downside to this one, I think it's over 15 millimeters.
Right.
Which is, it's thick for a dress watch, but
would you buy something like this if you had the money?
No, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I'd
probably pull a Mr. 2 and stick with Rolex.
Right. Exactly. Honestly, guys, there's nothing wrong with an all Rolex collection if that's what you enjoy wearing, guys. I got to tell you guys, I just wouldn't get this. There's no chance. For the money that it goes, I mean, you're getting into some serious watch. We're talking Carrier Voutilainen, in the independent space, Carrier Voutilainen, MBNF, FP Journe. You're probably close. How much does that watch go for? Probably $500,000 easy, right?
Oh, I don't even know what the sale price on it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a minute repeater, brand comp, so we're probably talking over $500,000 at least. You're probably in Dufour range. You're easily in Patek perpetual calendar chronographs. You're easily in longer perpetual calendar chronographs. I mean, there's so many great watches you can buy for this. But
there is something I don't understand about this reversal.
Yeah.
Like how this mechanism at the back operates, how the power transfers at the back.
Oh, so there's different, like, I'm pretty sure it's multiple. Is it multiple movements? There might be multiple movements.
Does it have a power reserve of its own, or like how?
Yeah, I would think it would be another rotor.
Yeah, I have no idea how the mechanics on this would work.
Both like the case and the back, each one separately, or like. This one thing I don't understand about this watch. It's a masterpiece.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't tell you even where to begin on this. Yeah. But I guess this kind of segues very nicely into the next topic, which is we got Cameron Kirib saying, just want to say great show, Marco. Thanks to all the members on the panel. Upvote. Thank you so much. Make sure to upvote, guys. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, 1.35 million euros. Jesus Christ. Gee.
Yeah, maybe one day. Maybe not.
Nah. You don't need that, guys. There's better watches out there, trust me. So this is probably a good segue into the next topic. Guys, what a disappointing Watches and Wonders. I got to tell you guys. I don't know about you. I find it's just disappointing. Rolex releases were... You know what I mean? Like really bad. They were bad.
I have a feeling, like later on, maybe they will release the Explorer 39, like maybe in September. What do you think?
It's possible.
I would not at all be surprised if they release more stuff later in the year.
Like, I mean, it gets all the scared money and the dealers out of the watches, and it kind of fights them over short term.
A lot of the if they're
it's legit like stock trading, right? It's like stock trading. FOMO, you like get rid of it. You know what I mean? There's fear of missing out. And what's the other one? When you sell, when it starts to
FOMO is fear of missing out. YOLO.
No, there's another one.
Oh, okay.
It's like when you sell because it starts dipping like a couple %, you get like super scared.
Okay.
I don't know what the expression is, but there's another expression. But yeah, it's like all the scared money goes running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the idea. Anyways, but yeah, Rolex was garbage. I mean, Zenith came out with their stuff yesterday, which is just like, hello? What do you guys do? Like, are you like AP, or you're trying to be Hublot with a mix of AP? I mean, just makes no sense at all.
Well, but I mean, Zenith is a good example. They released their Zaytona.
Honestly, I got to tell you, at first, I didn't think it was that good, that closely resembled to a Daytona. I don't know. I think my opinion's kind of changed a little bit.
That you think it is closer
to... it's closer than that. Listen, I think there's still a point to be made that is distinct enough, but it's kind of cheesy. It's kind of cheesy.
I don't know, but how comparable it is to the Daytona versus what some of these other brands are now doing, like some of the homage stuff, like Breitling's isn't like the two of Breitling releases are just Paddock knockoffs.
Right.
So it seems like a lot more companies are doing it now, and like Zenith kind of got called out pretty harshly for it. It was pretty controversial.
Yeah. Yeah, we got our captain, our good captain. Hey man, captain, join us by all means. Hey Lolex.
What's going on, fellas?
Guys, I got to tell you, I think Breitling was the only one that I was actually pleased with Bourbon Heart. You know, I was discussing this with he's in the chat right now, Spence R. He had messaged me. He said, "What do you think of the Breitling releases?" That he actually likes them, and I agree with him. Like, it's like saying all the divers look like the Submariner, right? They belong to a genre. They belong to a genre, right? So they're going to share similar characteristics, but they have details that are somewhat defining. And
true, but then as soon as someone puts Mercedes hands on a diver, that's where you're like,
right,
call foul. It's like, no, 100%. That's not yours.
Right, but it's like saying like all divers are like trying to copy a sub. You know what I mean? That's kind of the idea. Well, not really, because they're in the same genre. They're going to share similar kind of characteristics, but they're pretty distinct in their own right. And I think you could definitely say that about the new Breitling releases. Oh, here we go. What's going on? You're out and about.
What's up, boys?
What are you doing? Are you picking up a case of 2-4? You're getting lit. Our captain is going to get lit tonight.
Are you picking up a 6-pack from your local gas station?
It's kind of the equivalent of a 7-Eleven. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put the mute on, but it's called Weak Hands, shaking out the weak hands.
No worries.
Nice to see you guys. Hey,
you're talking selling out of your position.
Yeah, you sell at the lows. It shakes out the weak hands, and then that's when the bottom feeders.
The paper hands, right? The paper hands. You can't have paper hands. You only sell if you lose, right, Captain?
Get out of AMC. That's true. Get out of.
That's true.
Oh man, I can't wait to sell that fucking stock.
Stop! What are you doing?
I can't wait. Oh man.
So I'm obeying all mask laws. Otherwise, I wouldn't be wearing this.
Let me just pull up these Breitlings. Okay. These were... Why is it that every time you want something, you can't find it? You know what I mean? It's actually so frustrating. Here you go. Okay.
Yeah, and I agree with Danger Will Robinson. Zenith killed off the 38mm Explorer. The Zenith's 38mm El Primero.
Right. Well, I think they might re-release it. In the more historical case, right? That 8386 case. Because it was a different case shape, that 38mm. You know what I mean? Like the lugs are a little bit Here, like I can pull it up in a second. But yeah, these were my favorite releases. So this Breitling here, but I like the blue one, this one. This is really nice. And I think also the Salmon Dial triple calendar, triple date was really nice also. That's the other one. But yeah, other than that, I mean, IWC, listen, let's be honest. IWC didn't really do anything inventive. They came out with what I like to call the little pilot.
It's still pretty big, but...
Right, it's the little pilot. Like what is that? And then they came out with the 41 millimeter chronograph. What's it called? The Flieger chronograph. It's nice. I like it, actually. I don't like the price, but it's not bad.
All right, I'm back, fellas. What did I miss?
Nothing much. We're just talking the releases. How disappointed we are.
Nice.
The only one I enjoyed.
Did you guys see that sweet photo shoot I sent you guys in the group chat?
Yeah, I saw that.
I know, pretty sweet, right?
Very nice, man. Congrats. I'm happy. Happy for you.
Thank you, sir. Only took me an hour to take those photos. Can you believe it?
Dude, taking photos is time consuming, man.
I mean, let me tell you.
You got to get the lighting, the staging, everything's got to be right.
Dude, those Breitlings look actually pretty sick.
I think they're very cool.
If they were cheaper, I would be pretty into it. If those were like a $4,000 watch, I'd be really into it.
Right. Right. I wouldn't buy these at retail for sure.
No way.
I mean, way.
What are they selling at right now? Like 12 or something?
I'll tell you the price. The price is $12,950.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
I'm hoping it's going to be like 6,000, 8,000, like somewhere in that range, 6,000 to 8,000.
Even then, I think that's a little too much, but very cool watch nonetheless.
Right.
I mean, you got a moon phase on it. What more do you want?
I mean, way cheaper than a Patek, but
is that what they're going for? Like a Patek? You can't afford a Patek. So get
oh no. I'm saying that they're. I'm just saying that they're a ripoff of Pateks.
How many millimeters is that?
Oh, it's big. It's like 15 millimeters thick, I'm pretty sure. And then the case is 40. Yeah, they're not small, that's for sure.
It's 42 or 44. 42, yeah.
42. Wow.
Yeah, so
it's a big watch.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a dress watch, but it's a little bit too thick, in my opinion.
Yeah. A little too thick. It kind of reminds me of Mont Blanc for some reason.
Right. They make an annual calendar like that, similar to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I got to tell you, I'm really disappointed with these new releases. It's not nice. They're just, it's garbage. It's garbage.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I don't know if we were talking about this, but Tim's saying he's going to get a 36 mil Explorer 1 as a beater to actually go do stuff. I think is actually pretty cool, to be honest with you. Because if you've ever gone and like, I'm just saying, when you're doing stuff and you're out and about, having a smaller watch is awesome because you don't feel it. You're not going to bang it on anything. I don't know. It kind of makes sense.
This is a great point by Caliber 3135. He says, I'd rather have a Habring Doppelfelix than the Breitling split second, similar price point. 100%. I mean, these are really nice too. These are incredible watches.
But I feel like it's a more original design.
Right. It's also a more original design for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I like this one, the white dial one, and I like also the salmon. There's a salmon dial, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I'm not crazy. Okay.
So
this is my favorite one.
Do you guys mind if I ask you some questions? So, Bourbon you have a solid three-piece collection, right? You got the Tudor, you got the Explorer 2, and then you have a no-date sub. Are you looking to add a fourth, or are you just like hanging out right now?
So I'm. What I've kind of done with like my collecting journey is like I just slowly like move up in quality, right? So if I need to replace my automatic Speedmaster,
are you going to keep it or are you going to flick it?
I'll probably keep it. I don't know that I'll flick it. It might be something that ends up like going like my son or something like that when he gets a little bit older.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the next one for me to upgrade. Probably would maybe be a chronograph.
That'd be
So
cool.
we're seeing.
So,
I don't want to pay the piper though.
So you have your heart set on the 3861. I feel like, right?
Maybe. I mean, if I can get it for, I'm not gonna pay full price for it. I'm definitely not gonna pay over.
Yeah, that's true.
I can wait.
That's interesting. That's one of the great things about having sons or children just in general. You can justify buying all these watches. You could be like, no, they're going to them.
Yeah.
These are theirs. And they're like, are they into watches at all?
My oldest is actually, he's quite a bit. Like
Very nice.
What does he have? Like flip flacks and Seikos?
No. Yeah, he has a Seiko, like a old, what is it? A Flight Master. Like he'll wear that.
Oh no, not that rodent watch. Not
That's
the rodent.
Cool. I used to have a Flight Master.
The rodent loves that.
He so he'll wear that is like his. So he has like his own like little collection. He has my I had like an old Orient, like an old Orient diver, and so it's like he uses that one, and then an old Victorinox. It's an automatic. I think it's called like an officer's. It's like a field watch, but
that's a nice
so he kind of has his little. Yeah, he has like his little
combo meal deal.
Whatever
collection,
$800 little 3-piece. So, and it works for for a kid in middle school.
So, do you have like an age in mind when you're gonna hand off some of these watches?
I'll probably do it for like achievements. You know, like if he graduates college or something like that. Like
that's fair. What about his?
You're very, very old, Bourbon Heart. Boredom possessed, big boy.
That's the way to do
it. They get it when you start eating the dandelions. They get it when you eat dandelions from the roots up.
Spend like no one else, so that later you can spend like no one else.
Right. See,
following the Dave Ramsey plan.
Fair enough.
What would you do if your son came to you and was like, "Dad, I like this squale a lot"?
No, you can't.
No.
But what if he was adamant about it? He's like, "Dad, I really, really like it."
No. Then I would. And what's funny is he's even more frugal than me. Like the money that he makes from like mowing lawns and things like that. Like he's at 13. He's got like
Jesus. He's starting to work at
like $2,000-$3,000 saving for a car. It's like he's still got another few years to go, and I'm like, man, that's like he doesn't
chill out.
He's pretty cheap. Yeah. He doesn't spend
get
his
a
money.
Rolex. Tell him to get a nice Rolex.
He wants my sub one day.
Oh, for sure. Whose collection is this, by the way? This is really
nice. What's going on? Yeah, I want to do
boys.
Pretty brief collection review. Really nice stuff. It's somebody called the Watch Therapist. They emailed me. They told me to review their collection, so I wanted to review their collection live on air with all the boys.
Very, very solid.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read his email. It says, "Hi, Marco. I've been watching your channel since your first video. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate it. It says, it's great to see a fellow Canadian watch enthusiast channel grow so quickly. Yeah, I agree, man. It's been some pretty insane stuff. Please find attached a photo of my Rolex collection. I began collecting 15 months ago. My first watch, the Root Beer, commemorated finishing 11 years of school and beginning my practice. My second watch was the Sub, which is his pandemic watch, and was on his wrist from treating his first COVID patient to the day he received his vaccine. Said there's some very unique memories with that watch, and his most recent acquisition is the Explorer, which commemorates the purchase of his first property. Nice, very nice. Congratulations, man. He says his next major milestone is getting engaged to my girlfriend by the end of the year. Ooh, I don't know if I'd be doing that. I gotta be totally honest with you. I'm looking for a special piece to commemorate that event. I'm on the waiting list for a Pepsi, but who knows if that will ever arrive. I reached out to AP, but they want me to buy an offshore before being offered a 15,500. I've reached out to FP Journe. The Chronomet Blue is impossible to get, but I've been considering a Chronomet Souverain, although not sure I need a dress watch. I'll be checking out Patek and BC soon, but would love your advice on what piece to purchase for this major milestone. Ideally, I would like to stick to Rolex. The Pepsi is a grail, but I've been considering a precious metal piece for such a life event. However, the precious metal pieces I like are very difficult to attain. Yellow gold, green dial Daytona, rose gold, olive Day-Day, rose gold Daytona on Oyster Flex. Could you give me a Rolex suggestion and a non-Rolex suggestion for a watch to commemorate my engagement? Thanks and greetings from Toronto. Toronto, the Watch Therapist. He says he also has a SARB 035, but we don't count that stuff.
Just out of curiosity, so we can determine what we're allowed to play with. What's his financials? Has he got a little bit of money to play with? He doesn't, or
yeah. I mean, I'm assuming he has a little bit of money. He just bought his first property. He's got a solid 3-piece Rolex collection, and yeah, man. Listen, I got to tell you guys, awesome collection. Mr. Two, what's going on, my man?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Mr.
guy,
we dedicated
Mr.
the start of the show talking a little bit about the JLC Polaris chronograph.
I noticed I was busy doing some other stuff, and then I noticed you used my JLC as your thumbnail.
Right.
So I'm going to have to probably go back and rewatch it, but is there a summary?
Right,
have
sure.
I done the wrong thing? Will Archie ever speak to me ever again?
Yeah. I think he's more worried about you taking him out for dim sum, for some more dim sum, than actually about the...
No, so just to be clear, I just got off the phone with Arch, so Arch called me. So we've been on the phone gas bagging for the past half an hour.
Trying to get you to change your mind?
No.
He's just cursing you out?
No, look, definitely. Look, some things are for the show, right?
Yeah.
But no, he called and we were having a good old gas bag. So we just finished. So I've missed the beginning of your show, unfortunately. But no, Arch is fine. He understands where I'm coming from. Yeah, I don't. How do I say it without causing drama? I don't like to be in a position where people feel that I owe them anything, and I also don't like it when people demand things of me. I just switch off. I don't have to listen to that. It's just the way I am. And so there was a point there where I thought, oh, I've got something better to do. So I just went and did it. So that kind of sums up what happened there. But no, Arch called me, and within 10 seconds it was sorted, and then we gas bagged for another half an hour.
As you do.
We basically, so we discussed this concept of the watch diary, which is basically where you actually record the watch you wear out of your collection every day, and then you look back, and then it basically tells you hey, here's the ones you really don't wear, and
it's an interesting concept
and are ripe for selling.
Gonna get buyer's regret bid.
No, look,
I'm doing a watch diary right now.
There is no regret with buying the JLC at all. If anything, I'm glad that I bought the JLC over the Omega. The JLC is a better watch, hands down. However, there could be a change happening with the collection in less than 6 hours.
What?
And there may not be room for the JLC. So it's not a matter of me not liking the JLC and I just want to get rid of it. There is something that could be taking its place. And this is a sickness, this hobby. And I don't want to go beyond owning 6 watches in total. That's why I specifically bought a 6-watch watch box. If there is something incoming, that means something must go out. So I'd like to stick to that theory, but there could be some changes.
1 on the wrist and 1 on the winder, right, Mr. Two?
Absolutely not, Marco.
By the way, guys, I just want to pull this up. Didn't Tommy say he was 22? He said, I love rose gold, just like the way Rolex does it. 5 of my watches are rose gold, including my Daytona Oyster Flex with white dial. And even though that watch I love, I like Patek's rose gold more. Hey, man, Tommy, you are flying, man. That's incredible. Congratulations. Jesus Christ. Hey, just love the watches. Hoard and possess. Wear them. And enjoy them. CB says you guys are a dedicated group. I got up. Some of you were talking watches. I'm on my way to bed and still talking watches. Exactly. The 24-hour watch.
Yeah.
We're here to entertain. Make sure you're liking and subscribing and telling your friends about the watch.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yeah. So this is basically the summary that I said, Mr. Two. I said first and foremost, I mean, I think it's a good mistake to have because it wasn't a watch that's hyper expensive, right? You might lose maybe a couple $100 on. I think you bought it very well. Honestly, I don't think you will lose anything. I think you could easily sell it at the price that you sold it, that you bought it for. But I said it's a good problem to have because you didn't lose your shirt on it. You know, you bought it very well, and it's a watch that I think you could probably sell relatively quickly. You know, I'm talking probably in about 1 to 3 months, something like that, the price you got it for. So I think it's a good learning lesson to tell you, like, look, Rolex, like many people, makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. You know, it's like an achievement. You know, everyone is like you unlock a life achievement. And I think that there's nothing wrong with having a full Rolex collection. If that's what you enjoy, guys, there's no reason to go outside of your kind of comfort zone just to kind of appease other people, right? If that's what you enjoy.
Don't forget the gondolo. Don't forget the gondolo. I'm not quite 100% Rolex.
We always forget the gondola, but you know what I mean, right, Mr. Two? Like, the idea is there's nothing wrong with having an all Rolex collection, because I'm sure a lot of people watching have an all Rolex collection. Listen, I will say get a VC, get a Patek, get a beautiful independent. But if that's not what you enjoy, guys, I totally get it. It's not for everybody. You got to buy what you like and enjoy wearing. And I respect somebody like Mr. Two who says, listen, I tried something out that was different. I didn't enjoy it. I'm going back to what I enjoy. And that's basically the summary of the beginning of the show, Mr. Two, for you.
Look, it gets my stamp of approval, that summary. And look, I am glad that I branched out to try something different. And when I was in that zone of buying a chrono, the JLC made perfect sense. However, when I put it on the wrist and I go out there, I don't know what it is. It's just a feeling. It's all I can describe it as. It's not the same feeling as when I'm wearing a Rolex. And I'm not one to just have a watch sitting there looking pretty. And it is a pretty looking watch. I want to wear it. And I can tell you right now, after this experience, I only feel comfortable and confident in wearing a Rolex. That's what brings me enjoyment. And what's the point in owning these things unless you're enjoying them?
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Two.
Guys, this is a good point. Rolex and Patek for the win. Guys, there's a reason why Rolex and Patek Philippe are the two best watch brands in the world. I mean, there is a reason. There is a reason, because when you strap them on your wrist, it's just a different feeling you get. And listen, like I said, Mr. Two, I respect the heck out of you because you tried something new. You went out of your comfort zone. And I think you said, listen, I like it. It's just not what I prefer. You know what I mean? It's not what I enjoy. And you want to just stick to what you enjoy. So I can respect a man who's tried and who goes back to what he prefers.
Tim, Mr. Two took bullets for us. Look, it did kind of feel like that, but I have a very heavy Kevlar vest, so I have no problem taking bullets, especially with Arch. It's all in good fun.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, look at this. Tom says, haha, you're absolutely right there. I'm in a weird situation. My grandfather passed away and left all the grandkids a very decent amount because I'm on a path to be a lawyer and I could spend some. Listen, Tommy, when I tell you this, I am not a financial advisor. Just enjoy life, man. You know what I mean? Money comes and goes. And, you just got to buy what you enjoy. You know what I mean? Don't go totally off the rails. Keep some of it, save a lot of it, but buy what you enjoy, man. Congratulations. Obviously, my condolences to your grandfather passing away. And good luck on your future career as a lawyer, man. Wish you all the best.
Don't borrow a fortune for school loans.
Oh yes,
like if you're going to law school, I mean, that's good, but it pays off when you finish and you pass your bar, and it's not easy. So
we got Canada Watch. I have an 8-watch collection and just switch my watch every Sunday. Works for me, maybe not for anyone else. Yeah, 100%. All right, let's get back to the. If you guys don't mind, of course, back to the collection review. So
Oh,
go ahead, Mr.
Can I tell you what I think?
Yeah, give us your 2 cents, by all means.
To be honest, I think it's beautiful. He's been very smart and clever in the way that he's got and everything. I probably would have done exactly what he's got because he's got a wind up. Sorry.
We're talking about the collection.
Yeah, the collection. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Strap on and wind up and go. You got the GMT and you got the sub. So he's got such a awesome versatile collection that he can stop right there and be happy with that. You know, he doesn't really need to
bits.
But you know, the only thing that if he really wanted to add would be maybe a leather strap just to break it up a bit, or a full gold piece. But besides that, he's pretty much got all the bases covered.
So,
you know.
So I think this is a great collection. One thing that I would consider, because he's looking at maybe doing like a non-Rolex piece, also something in precious metal. I think being a therapist, and I don't know how it is in Toronto, right? But my chiropractor is into watches. I can tell, but when he's in like adjusting people, he usually wears really nice watches, but not watches that people would recognize, right? So like a really nice Zenith or things like that.
Yep.
So
right, I'm sure he's not wearing the root beer. He's definitely not wearing the root beer. I mean,
but and I think that the Explorer goes under the radar more. But I wonder, like, would I want to be wearing, like, you know what I mean, like a gold, like, you know, like a rose gold Daytona when you're practicing, right? Like, I just don't know, like, how that would come across to clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon the Explorer would be the perfect watch to wear to work.
Yeah.
As a beater for that gentleman, you know what I mean? It'll be perfect for, and it doesn't stand out at all. Like, you wouldn't be able, you wouldn't be. Someone would say, "Oh, you're an Explorer," because it's
Mr. GMT. Not just that, he graduated from university. He said, "You know what? I finished all my school. I wanted to reward myself with a proper watch as kind of a first watch. It cost me a lot of money. I had to work very hard. You know, there's ways you can work around it. Without obviously getting into big details that you're a big watch guy. If your client ends up being a watch guy, honestly, I would even say don't bring up the watches you own, right? I would tell you, definitely don't bring up the watches you own. You know, just tell them, yeah, you know, I really love watches just like you. I'm looking to get, you know, a bunch of different watches. Don't bring up the collection, because that can cause. That's right. Again, I mean, I'm sure you can kind of see it out with the clients, but, you know, I would say, listen, the Explorer is just even the sub, you can wear either or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I reckon
what's your thoughts on the collection, Mr. Two?
I love it to bits. Sub,
me too.
Perfect. GMT, perfect. Wind wear, perfect. And he's even got a splash of the rose gold. All bases covered for a 3-piece collection. This is perfect. Whose is this?
So it's a viewer who sent me this by email. His name is the Watch Therapist.
The Watch Therapist. Right. You're doing very well. I think this is Schmicko. Has he got any thoughts for the future, or is he questioning any of these pieces?
Right. So you joined after I read the email, right? So he said, ideally, I'd like to stick to Rolex. Hold on, let me read everything. My next major milestone is getting engaged to a girlfriend. I told him, I would wait on that, you know. At the end of the year, I don't know about that. Let's delay it a couple of years. I'm looking for a special piece to commemorate that event. Wait on the wait list for a Pepsi. Guys, you don't need a special event to buy a watch. Just buy the damn thing and wear it and make memories with it. That's it. Forget these special event watches. I'm on the wait list.
No, Marco. Completely disagree there. Bow, no deal. Shark Tank. I'm not investing in Marco. I think for a specific piece, there does need to be a major event. For me, getting a day date, it just keeps coming up again and again. Don't just go and buy it at the AD if it comes in or the grey market. It's a Fikov piece. It's an iconic Rolex piece. It is very blingy and showy. I want it to be associated with a major milestone event. Here's an example for you. That 5111 Patek. So this is the gondola, everyone. That is not a watch I would normally wear. It's not a watch I would normally buy. However, if you're all familiar with the storyline of how I acquired that, I have grown so attached to that has now become a life stayer in my watch box. That will stay there. I do not wear it, only because I haven't had the occasion to. For me, that is more of a black tie event, a very special formal event watch. When that comes up for me, that will be the watch I'll be wearing. For the JLC, I purchased that on a whim. I did investigate the watch. I learned about it before I purchased it, so I knew what I was getting. There is no sentimental attachment to that at all, and I have no problem in that leaving the watch box, and hence it will be at some point. So having some form of emotional attachment to a watch, or even the purchasing of a watch, I think is far superior than just going and acquiring an item because it's hot or because you just want it. That's my 2 cents.
Loser talk. Loser talk. Just buy the watch. This guy forget. No, listen, I understand that. Obviously, there is kind of something special when you get a watch to commemorate something. By the way, Spence R, I just saw your message to me on WhatsApp. Could it be possible that you email me your collection? This way I can review it live on air for you. Just email it to me, watchcardinal99@gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat.
And he's got a beautiful collection too. Can't wait to see that.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. But yeah, let me keep reading. So getting engaged to the girlfriend. The reason I say let's delay it a couple more years because getting engaged is expensive, guys.
You should be saving on that event, or
exactly.
I think Birmingham might be able to comment. Arranging a prenup at that time rather than getting a watch.
Right. So then he goes on to say he's on the wait list for the Pepsi, but doesn't know if it'll arrive. He says he needs to get the offshore diver before getting offered the 15500. Forget it. Don't get the diver. Because there's no guarantee that you'll get the 15500 since it's getting discontinued next year, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Or they're coming out with a new one. Didn't they say they were coming out with a new one? Yes, no, maybe so. No? We don't know.
Can you repeat the question?
The AP 15500, the Royal Oak in blue. Didn't they say they're coming out with a new version of it next year? And they're going to discontinue this model? I'm pretty sure.
We need Bud the Stud.
Correct me in the chat. I'm sure somebody in the chat knows. He said he reached out to FP Jour and said the Chronomet Blue is impossible, obviously. He's thinking the Chronomet Souverain, although he's not sure he needs a dress watch. He said he'll be checking out Patek and BC soon. He says he'd like to stick to Rolex. The Pepsi is current grail, achievable grail, obviously. He says the precious metal pieces I like are very difficult to attain. He likes the yellow gold dial, green dial Daytona, the rose gold olive Day-Date, and the rose gold Daytona on Oyster Flex. Could he give me Rolex suggestion and non-Rolex suggestion? So first, obviously, we've all kind of gotten everybody's thoughts. Rolex, did you want to give your thoughts about this collection? I don't know if you're here.
I think it's pretty awesome. I mean, you got the Sub Date, which is a classic. You have the Explorer 1, the 39 mil, now that it just got discontinued. I mean, that just turned into like a phenomenal watch. And then, I mean, the Root Beer, what more can you say? Like, people are waiting for that watch. There's a wait list for a two-tone watch. Like, it's a perfect collection. I'm wondering if he got it on the gray market, like if he got it from David SW, or if he just hit the lottery 3 times in a row. That's what I want to know. There's something so cool about purchasing this from an AD, in my opinion. I don't know why.
Very true. And we got our captain, Steven. Captain, are you here? He might still be at the 7-Eleven, guys. Getting a case of 2-4. He's gonna Edward 40 hands us. You know what Edward 40 hands is?
Yeah, it's when you get drunk and pee your pants.
they take those like 40 ounce. What's it called? Right?
Yeah, 40 ounces to your hand, and then
oh my goodness,
and then you have to try and figure out how to pee at the end of the night. It's like impossible.
Right. So what do I think of this collection? Man, I pretty much echo a lot of what Mr. 2 just said, right? You got all your bases covered. You got your sub, you got your GMT, and you got your wind and wear. Very simple wind and wear classic. Now, going to your suggestions, here's kind of my initial thoughts off the cuff, and I guess I'd love to get your guys' input also. You know, if you don't need a dress watch, I don't see a reason why you would spend kind of 30, 40, 50,000 on something from Patek, something from VC, something from FP Journe, or any of these kind of other major independents unless you have a serious passion for them, right? If it's not something that you're going to wear on a daily basis, you know, I would recommend you getting maybe one nice one that is not super expensive. Something like a 5111, like Mr. Two's got, like a 5127 that Archie has, or a 5196. You know, those are simple wind and wear that get the job done and that are also just as beautiful as those ones you mentioned in my email. Personally, I would be going after more Rolex. I mean, if Mr. Two's conundrum with his JLC Polaris chronograph taught us anything, is get what you enjoy wearing, man. There's nothing wrong with an all Rolex collection. So what would I get next? I mean, you got to get a chronograph, right? That's, to me, the natural next step. I would say Daytona is a great option. I would say a Speedy Man on the Moon is a great option. So you can get either the old model or the new one. If you want something different, I like the Tokyo 2020 Red, as most of you all know. What's another good one?
You know, if he's just kind of a thought also, if he's a therapist, right? Like he's a shrink and
right.
he's billing people by the 30-minute or hour sessions. You could also look at like a countdown timer.
Right. Interesting. Nah.
But a chronograph would make sense for his line of work, though.
Right. Maybe like a Daytona on rubber.
I think a Yachtmaster 2's a little too sporty, probably for.
Yeah, I wouldn't like. It's a little bit too attention grabbing. Also, that's the problem.
Yep. Oh man, yeah. But how awesome would it be if he had like, not like something that chimed at the end of a session?
Yeah, like a JLC alarm watch or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, nah.
The client would like get used to like the sound of the chime.
Nah, I wouldn't get that. Honestly, I got to tell you guys, I would say I would get probably a Daytona on rubber if you can pull one from your AD. I would actually get something a little bit different, a great weekend watch, like that is that yellow gold one that SE just got, right? So let's pull it up. Oh, we got our good captain. Hold on. Let me get the captain. All right, so let's just, I'm going to stop sharing my screen very quickly. I just want to pull up another tab.
How's my audio?
Very good. What's going on?
Sorry about that. That was crazy. Don't stream and drive, guys. Don't stream and drive. Here's the thing. So the 15500, Marco, I think that's a relatively new release by AP because they had the 400, which came out 12 years ago.
Right.
And then what was it?
That's what I was saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I have no idea.
Because you know what? It's 12 years. So they had the 1400 and then the 1500. Would that be a 6-year run? So you might be right, actually, depending upon how long their runs are.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I would, but I would go on that list, and I agree with you. Do not get the offshore diver.
I agree.
Stay on a list for the 1500, and then maybe by the time you're having your first child, you'll get the 1600. So that would be number one. Number two, what's his watch roll made out of?
It's Mirage. Yeah, that's what I was going to say also. He's got to upgrade to phosphorus leather. Come on,
phosphorus leather. But I like the 3-watch roll. You guys are 4-watch rolls. I want a three-piece combo meal.
Loser talk. You need 4 in the box, 1 on the wrist. 5-piece combo meal deal. That's why I got the 4.
4 for your watch roll?
Yeah, 4 for my watch roll.
Yeah, so when you go somewhere, you're going to take your watch roll. You're going to take all 4 watches?
You get another watch roll with just a 1 watch roll. This way you can justify getting another one.
All right. Anyway, so that looked like a nice roll. And then, in terms of the collection, it's beautiful. It's all Rolex. So obviously, you stay with Rolex, you get a Daytona. You could even get an Oyster Perpetual, but whatever you want to do. But he has all black dials because I know this because I'm focused now on the dial diversity. So, Daytona on Oyster Flex.
I think this would be perfect, right?
Yeah, but I'm looking at that. So, no, show him another one.
This one is nice too, but I think these are even harder to get because it's like almost a steel-like Daytona. So these are very desirable.
Is that on the rose?
No, this is white gold.
I don't love the white gold. I was looking. I just spent 2 hours looking at these.
They also make a rose gold, right? I'm pretty sure.
They make a rose, they make a white, and they make a gold.
I would get the yellow though. The yellow is a perfect kind of weekend watch because you couldn't wear this like Steven. Yes. Tell me if I'm wrong, but he's a therapist because his name is the watch therapist. That's what I'm inferring.
He's got a lot of potential clients on this.
You can't wear this to a client. You can't wear this with a client.
What, as a therapist? Oh, right. Yeah. It's a little
right. Exactly. Watch. It'd be a perfect weekend watch. It's got no date, wind and wear.
So wait, watch therapists. Sorry, watch addicts pay to go meet with him so that he can talk to them about their addiction problems?
No, he's a therapist. Probably is his practice.
He's not a watch. Okay. I know.
You're being facetious.
He's quick, man. Bourbon Heart. He gets it.
That would be awesome if he's wearing a Rolex. It's not a thing. It's not a real sickness, guys.
He's got the same sickness as we do. It's a beautiful watch. That is gorgeous. You picked the best one, I think, dial wise.
Right. I like the Paul Newman a bit better, if I'm being honest with you.
Which one?
The Paul Newman one, but those are impossible to get.
The meteorite is insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, here's the question, and I'm struggling with this right now. If you can get this watch, obviously, if you can get it at retail, you grab it. But what would be even close in terms of a chronograph to this piece? This is 28.5. I'm struggling with, what do you get? AP Royal Oak chronograph? Or
there's nothing really good. I'm telling you guys, for the price, the Daytona is actually really undervalued because there's no good chronograph options on a bracelet like what Rolex makes. There's nothing, guys. Like the only thing I can point to is a Speedy. That's it.
Right. And look at the difference in the price point, though.
And the quality. I mean, guys, James is a total Omega fanatic, right? And he even said, listen, the Daytona and the Speedy shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath. It's like comparing like apples and truffles. It's like
apples and truffles.
Like it's not even close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not even the Tudor Trash Panda.
Right. No, I don't like that either.
The poor man's panda.
But yeah, this would be my first suggestion. You got to get a chronograph.
I think that watch has potential. We got to see videos of the Tudor Panda or Babe, whatever we're calling it, Diet Panda.
I'm going to keep calling it the Trash Panda until it sticks.
Trash Panda? Why?
I'm kidding.
GB, hey, if you want, email me your collection, watchcardinal99@gmail.com. I'm going to do Spence R's collection next. And then
yes, Spence R is the man.
Yeah, he's got an amazing collection. I can't wait to do that.
The only thing is I was saying dial variation, and I'm in the same boat. A leather, some sort of a leather kind of dressier dress piece.
Well, he doesn't need dress watch. He's got an Explorer 1. That's all he needs. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't. Well, I mean, you could go to that with anything. But if let's say you have your wedding, I guess you could wear the Explorer, or you could wear the watch that Mr. 2 just spoke about, a Patek. What does he have? 5117?
Yeah, the 5111. I would say also the 5127, which is the Crown Guards Calatrava. Yeah, if you're going to get, listen, if you don't need dress watch, like he's talking about Chronomed Blues and the Platinum Chronomed Souverain, like, listen, those are great watches, right?
Yeah.
But they're for real enthusiasts. Like, those are cost prohibitive. You got to really love the things to buy those. You know what I mean?
Well, if you get a Chronomed Souverain at retail,
they're still expensive. Like, we're talking, what, 40,000, 50,000 minimum Canadian?
Oh, what's the conversion? It's about, I thought it was, 20, high 20s, low 30s USD.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's close to the 50s if you're getting in platinum, right? Which I would recommend. Listen, you're going to get one, get it in platinum, not in rose gold. You don't get in rose gold.
You want to drop your email?
Tommy just did. Watch Cardinal 99.
If he wanted to veer away from Rolex, it sounds as if he could go with one of the Trinity. And
that's not bad.
Right, just one, because I did that. So you always come back to Rolex. You flick all your shitters and the ones you just think you like, and then you get rid of them. And you come back and buy Rolex.
Okay, hold on, Steven. We're gonna come back. Let me finish my suggestion, just so that we can get everybody's opinion. Okay, so this is one option I would definitely recommend because you need a chronograph in the collection. The other one I would say is a Vacheron Overseas chronograph. These are still not super expensive. You can get maybe the Gen 2, but I like the Gen 2 because it's got the date at the 10. But the dial is just like a matte or lacquer dial. This is a much nicer sunburst dial. You've also got the versatility of the fact you can put on leather, you can put on rubber, or you can keep it on the metal bracelet. I would say if you're looking for a Holy Trinity heavy-hitting watch that you can also wear every day and that, you know, it's a versatile piece, this is probably the best option. And these sell for, you know, not crazy over retail, right? So I would say this is a great recommendation, something I would definitely consider. So you got the Daytona, the VC Overseas chronograph in blue. And then last but not least, I think you do need a dress watch, right? You need a dress watch. So I would say probably, I mean, listen, you guys know I'm a bit biased for Vacheron, right? I think it can do a Vacheron Patrimony in rose gold. Secondary, buy it on the secondary market. Do not pay full price. Hold on, the 38mm is my favorite. Just simple, classic wind and wear. This is the one. It's just got a simple, crisp white dial, beautiful hour markers, dolphin hands, that's sub-seconds. It's got no frills about it, and it's just gorgeous. That movement is beautiful on it. Look at that. You can even get this one. This is the boutique edition with an elaborate guilloche dial. And these aren't super expensive. You know, they're 20, 25,000 Canadian, maybe 30 if you get the guilloche dial. And, you know, you're getting a great watch. Awesome. Just awesome. And then in terms of Rolex, I would just wait out for the Pepsi because you really don't need anything else. You know, I would get the Daytona if you can because that's just money in the bank. I would get the VC Overseas in blue if you can't get the Daytona. And then I just wait for the Pepsi. Just wait it out. If you're on the wait list, listen, keep going to your AD. Keep telling him you're interested in getting the Pepsi and try and squeeze one out of him. Those are my suggestions. Now, let's go down the panel. Steven, our good captain, I know you want to talk about this. Give it to us. What do you recommend? I'll pull them up for you.
What, his collection?
Yeah, so he's got that three-piece collection that I shared earlier. What would you get?
How about a long A 1815 up down?
Nice. Let's let the panel weigh in. You heard me speak, Marco. I love whatever, you know. You're always on point.
These are good too. These are great. This is also a great alternative to the VC Patrimony that I just suggested. Right? Awesome. I mean, look at those blue dial. Look at those blue hands, sorry.
Perfect.
Unbelievable. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. What else, Birmingham? Do you think he needs a chronograph?
I mean, you know what though? If he was doing an 1815 up down, maybe doing it in white gold might fly.
Oh yeah, because you can actually wear it at work, right?
Yeah, not a lot of people are going to recognize it.
Right. Do therapists wear suits? They wear suits, right?
Depends. I mean, if they do like, I don't know if he's going to do like family counseling or things like that. Sometimes it's like a business casual.
Okay, but you can still wear this, 100%.
Can we ask Tim that question? Tim, do therapists wear suits? Please let us know, buddy.
Yeah.
He could even do a long A 1815 chronograph, and he's combining a dress watch with a chronograph. Actually,
so that's that's very expensive.
Hey, he's a therapist, right?
Right. Would you get the rose with the white dial? Like this?
I'd still do it. I'd probably do white with the blue dial. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a blue dial though.
These are really expensive because they're the boutique edition, but you're talking this one here.
Hey, if he's putting a ring on her, this is the time to capitalize.
You can justify it.
She's not going to say no. She's not going to say no for this purchase, right? Let's leverage.
It's not bad. Not a bad idea. 1815 Chrono Rose Gold Black Dial. It's a great suggestion.
You should say, I'll only marry you. I'll only marry you if I can get an 1815 chronograph and a prenup.
But guys, don't forget, he just bought a house Like, I don't know if he's willing to spend this kind of money. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm saying, like, listen, I would get the Pepsi first and then build towards a watch like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, guys, financial independence a little bit more important than I would say getting a crazy knockout collection. You know what I mean?
But why would you get the Pepsi if you've got the Ripia?
That's loser talk, Mr. GMT. What do you mean? Why would you get it? What do you mean? Why would you get it? You get it because you can. You get it because you can, man.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, because he's already got that, why don't you go for something different? Like, as in, it could be Rolex, but something different.
No way.
You know, because you already got the Ripia. No,
I gotta tell you.
No? Out the window?
Get the
no
Pepsi.
worries.
Get the Pepsi. Get the Pepsi. Loser talk. Loser talk. Look at this. Tommy brings up a good point. Your name is Mr. GMT, and you're saying, why get 2 GMTs? Because you can. That's why, right?
It's not. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say there's more to just getting the same. Like, try and be, think outside the box and get something different.
His name's
That's
Mr. GMT, not Mr. GMTs.
Right. Fair enough.
That's exactly right.
Alex K says,
the quirkiness that I like, the quirkiness that I like about Mr. GMT is he has a GMT. However, he lives in a very specific time zone in Australia that is off by 30 minutes with the rest of the world. That's hilarious.
Oh my God, that is, man. But you know
Not
what?
even
That's
a Casio has that time zone.
Wait a second. So hold on. In your quirky time zone, Mr. GMT, do you do the daylight savings switching, or do they pick that so that you don't? Man,
we don't do no daylight savings. Nothing.
That might be worth it.
We don't have to do we don't change our times ever. It's always the same time.
So he has a GMT and he has no clue what the time is anywhere else in the world.
It's out the window, man.
He's either always late or early if he ever leaves his town by 30 minutes.
But yeah,
that's about right. That's about right.
I would say short term.
That's a beautiful piece. This logo photograph. I mean, but now we're going. You just leaped over the Daytona.
Right. It's a little bit crazy. I mean, we're getting like this is 15,000 more than the logo.
Now,
okay, but if you're combining the values. But this one combines, it gives them the chronograph and the dress watch. So are you really saving money in the long run?
And it's got Arabic.
Because Rolex is better.
Guys,
Rolex is better.
Numerals. It checks off a lot of boxes. Arabic numerals, chronograph, white gold. It's a precious metal on a leather strap. I mean, how many more boxes with a blue dial? How much is this piece? I might get it.
Expensive.
60?
It is 50,000 minimum.
They're hard to come across, though.
Right.
Mr. 2. Let's get to Mr. 2. What do you think of the collection, and what should he get next?
I like it, but I'm having a really hard time with anything that's not Rolex. I'm concerned that I have to change my name to Mr. Rolex. We're going into a dangerous territory here. But all I know is what I enjoy, and it's Rolex heavy. But look, he's got a beautiful collection. Can't knock it at all. As long as he wears them.
Right. And in terms of what to get next, I think you got to get the Pepsi next, right? Stay on the wait list.
On Jubilee.
Definitely.
On Jubilee.
100% on Jubilee.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, what's your opinion on the bracelets? I thought Rolex made such a perfect decision to go with GMTs on Jubilees. It is more traditional. I felt the GMTs were always the more dressier of the sports range, and to leave the Oyster to the subs where they belong. I'm a little bit. I don't know how to take it. I do like the look of the Pepsi on an Oyster, but does it make it right?
Honestly, I really don't like the Oyster bracelet, guys. I gotta tell you guys, I really hate it. I don't know why.
On the Pepsi?
Yeah, I don't love it, guys. I really think that a Rolex GMT belongs on a Jubilee.
Just out of curiosity, when the GMT came out originally, what did it come out on?
I thought it came with an oyster.
Yeah. I thought it did too.
It did come out with an oyster. Yeah, the bacon
was an oyster style. I mean, it was, very different and it even had the rivets, right?
But I got to tell you guys, if we're talking modern GMT, I prefer the Jubilee. 100%.
It looks better on a Jubilee, that's for sure. But just from a practicality standpoint, I would get it on an oyster because it's going to last for the bracelet.
Well, no, but the practicality, this scratch is easier. Look at those polished centers.
But it's going to be more solid for a longer time. That Jubilee, even though it's a modern Jubilee, it's still going to turn into a jingle jangle.
The big reason.
Not supposed to.
It's not supposed to, but it's too many pieces on the bracelet. It just will naturally it'll just naturally turn looser.
But since everything else he has is oyster.
Yeah, I could
for
see
that reason.
Yeah.
Look, if Stallone can pull it off, anyone can.
I don't know. That makes me want it worse.
Interesting.
That makes me not want it.
Yeah.
I was speaking with the Rolex AD. I was speaking with the Rolex AD yesterday about what's the possibility of getting an oyster for my Pepsi, and they don't have any definitive answers yet on what is and isn't allowed. However, they said they have a feeling Rolex will not allow you to purchase the additional bracelet. Now, it changes from country to country. So if you have an AD that does allow it, let everyone else know. But it does change around the globe. They said you might get away with sending in just the head of the watch and telling them that you've lost the bracelet or you don't have it. Can they please put on an oyster? However, if they may even run the serial, and if it's before the oyster release date, they may come back and say, no, that doesn't belong on that watch. So there's mixed answers going around at the moment.
Let me ask two things. So when you buy a watch now, they're probably going to know by serial. Well, maybe they're going to know which bracelet you bought the watch on. Even going forward, they may know this watch was bought with an oyster. This watch was bought with a Jubilee.
Do you reckon they'll put another?
You could always get one aftermarket, but
they'll know from the serial based on the serial number. And they'll probably stamp a serial number on the bracelet so they can track who sells the bracelets, probably online or something like that.
Is the Bruce Wayne / Batgirl name now officially eliminated because because you couldn't get both bracelets?
I like Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
No,
I want
do you need
Wayne.
any of it? Is it now just Batman on Oyster?
Yep.
Or Batman on Jubilee? Period.
No. Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
Oh, all right.
You go to the Rolex website, click on the search bar, and type in Batman, and you'll see what comes up.
Right. Thank you.
But I like the name Bruce Wayne.
He's just changing his pants.
That's it.
But anyways, Mr. Two, coming back to you, what are your suggestions for his collection in the future?
I mean, is he going to seriously get a Pepsi? Is he doing it all through the AD? So he doesn't do grey market.
Exactly.
Okay, so in about 5 years, he can add a Pepsi. So we can tick that off the list.
End of year watch, right? I think that yellow gold Daytona on the rubber, if you've got a decent kind of AD relationship, you could probably get that by end of the year.
It is a very cool watch. Really, end of the year. Here in Australia, you'd have no chance. Absolutely no chance. I love the look of that Daytona. However, I'm not a fan of the rubber. Look at
Us
that.
Us young guys don't like the latex, right, Mr. Two? We hate latex.
Oh, exactly. Well, plastic does. Plastic usually puts it over his head. But yeah, look, that is stunning. I wouldn't want to own the rubber though, but I can appreciate that is a beautiful watch. Absolutely.
Are you chuffed to bits?
By the end of the year, that's impressive if he can.
Mr. Cho, are you chuffed to bits?
Yes, I'm chuffed to bits. Absolutely.
But Mr. Chu, also, if he goes to his AD and says, listen, I'm getting engaged to my girlfriend. I get that I can't get the Pepsi now. It's a very in-demand watch. Work with me, not against me. I'd love to get a watch, commemorate it. You know, I bought these 3 watches from you. I think it's the best option.
Darling.
The next step naturally would be to get a Daytona, right? And this is the one I really like. I think you could probably get it by end of the year.
Oh, Marco, you have way too much.
6 months?
You've got way too much faith in humanity, Marco. Do you know how we're all humans at the end of the day? Do you know how many times he has heard that story from people who go in there with puppy dog eyes? They have a few crocodile tears. Marco,
he has an AD relationship. He's played the AD games.
I think almost every person on Earth almost has an AD relationship now. Look,
except
the
me,
lines
except
are
me because
long.
I'm in Darwin.
Same here.
And look, and me, I only have a very small relationship with the AD. I haven't gone crazy with them, but look, if he can get it, by all means. I know in Australia you'd have next to no chance in hell of getting that within 12 months. But
the North American market is easier to get watches. That's why.
What's the difference between retail and market on this at the moment?
Oh, I can't tell you, but I can look it up.
Yeah, and they also have various dial variations. I only like 3 of them, but I will tell you, I think the meteorite dial is impossible to get, and I don't know if there is a. You
know what the retail is on this, Captain?
28.5, I believe.
28.5. So I'll put it in USD.
And the meteorite is about 4,000 or 5,000 more, so it's about 30. Let's say 34 and change, or 30, give or take 1,000 or so.
Oh, you can even get a 2-tone Daytona. What about a 2-tone Daytona black dial? It's not as nice, but it's a good compromise.
Yeah.
It's got a much older feeling to it, though.
Right.
Now, Mr. Two, you're a perfect person to speak about this in terms of the wear of the Daytona on a larger wrist. Having owned one, didn't you?
Oh my goodness! Look at this.
I had the 2-tone. Yeah, 2-tone with black dial.
Okay.
And it wore small, which I wasn't happy about. However, I also fell out of love with the 2-tone.
Okay.
Look at this.
But 2-tone is very different to this, though. Having the rubber strap, this makes it such a super modern looking watch, right? It's stunning.
100%.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely, I agree.
Look at this, almost double over retail.
Yeah, I don't think you're walking out of this. I agree with Mr. Two, unless you go in there with a brown paper bag, the proverbial.
Yep.
And you're still not going to do it, but I'm just.
And the brown paper bag is not cash. There's a gun in that brown paper bag. You may walk out with one.
Right.
But yeah, disclaimer: everything we say is made up and fake and make believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do not try this.
Exactly. Look, if you're looking for a perfect piece and you genuinely love that piece, and you have a special occasion coming up, don't cop out and take the easy way out. Pay up. Pay the money and get the piece that is going to commemorate such an important event in your life. Actually, I have an example here. So speaking of that 2-tone Daytona, so it's the current model. It's the latest 2-tone black dial Daytona. I bought it. I loved it at the time. Grew out of love with it. And I thought, there's no point. I'm going to stop wearing it. So I don't want it. Let's get rid of it. And as soon as I put it online relatively cheap. I wasn't looking to make profit. And within 10 minutes, I had roughly 10 people message me saying they wanted to come and view it immediately. And I decided, okay, I want to be fair. I'm going to allow the very first person to message me to come and view it. And this is while I'm continuing to get offers from people saying, I will give you 2,000 over the asking, just let me come and view it now. So clearly I priced it too cheaply, but I'm really glad that I stuck to my guns and was fair. And so what happened was a young guy showed up with an elderly gentleman who was on crutches. And I thought it was for the younger guy, but he quickly introduced me to his father-in-law. And he said, this is for my elderly father-in-law. He was clearly not in good health at all. And this was his Grail piece. This was the thing that he had desired for a very long time. And they had been to the AD previously and were told, look, there's probably going to be a 1 to 2 year wait on this piece. He doesn't have that long. And so this was his treat to himself. Yes, he was paying over retail, but the way I priced it, it was only a fraction over. And so it was time to grab his Grail and enjoy it while he could. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to sum up here. If you've got a major event, something so important happening in your life, just do it. Go and get it. And if we're talking about an engagement or a marriage, we're hoping that it only occurs once. And so why not mark it with a special occasion, with a piece that you can take with you on that journey?
You just gave me goosebumps, eh? Seriously. Wow. What an awesome story.
That's amazing.
You believe that? You believe that story, awesome. Mr. Two?
I know, right? He threw the. Why you always lying?
Come on, guys! I'm trying to ramp it up for the drama. Far out. Disclaimer. Everything I say is made up and fake. No, but to be very serious, it was
kill class.
Yes, just to be very clear, that is dead true.
But now what really happened was Mr. Two saw he had a gold date, full gold. So he kicked the crutches out, grabbed the guy's date, and ran like hell.
And I appeared on the front papers of the newspaper the next day, and I was on the news headlines that evening.
Wearing a plastic water pump mask.
Then Mr. Two's like, hey, I'm getting multiple offers for way more. And he milked him for.
And the most important thing was I was wearing Rolex and not JLC.
So this was the two-tone Daytona. That was this man's Grail watch, right?
That's correct.
So yeah, this was his. Look, I would predict he must have been in his 60s, and so he had a very aggressive. He had very aggressive cancer. And he was definitely on his way out very quickly. And his son was just explaining that, look, they had been to the AD, they had already been on the waiting list, and it was still, they still kept getting told 1 to 2 years. And it had been made clear to them that time is running out very quick. And they knew that they wouldn't see that piece arrived. And so when they looked online, my ad popped up. And so he quickly jumped at it. And I'm glad I ignored all the additional offers and I just stuck to my guns, because I can tell you now, I feel completely at peace that I made that decision. I don't give a shit about a couple of thousand or several thousand more. I feel so glad that has gone to someone who is going to love and enjoy that piece for the rest of his time. And it will then be passed down within his family.
And you're a better person for it.
You never feel bad for doing the right thing.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well said.
Yep, that is wicked, man. That's a touching story. Seriously, it really is, man. It's such a good thing that you did that, because if it was anybody else, and this is just a human thing, this is what people do, they would have went for more money. It's just a logical thing, right? But you're a better man, and it worked out perfectly. Well,
I gotta tell you, Mr. Two, you are a better man than I would have been. I would have taken those $2,000 plus offers and would have said, "Thank you for the free money."
You know what though? Those dirty, nasty flippers, they don't do that kind of thing. But I've run into a lot of people that are watch collectors that are just like Mr. Two, like more than you would think.
This is a good question from Alex K. What do you guys think of the new two-tone Sky Dweller?
Karma will treat you well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tenfold.
I like to think it already has, you know. I'm just trying to keep up with it, and just to make sure that it continues in my life.
That's right.
And you know, I encourage others to do the same out there. So stop listening to my BS story and just try to replicate that. I can tell you right now, I think I said it to you, Marco, or on the show. There is a feeling that you get by giving. And all you dirty guys out there, yeah, get your minds out of the gutter. But look, when you're in a giving spirit,
how dare you?
Get back in your cage. But look, when you're in this giving spirit, I don't know what it is. It's like a buzz. It's a high. That's the best way I can describe it. And that's what happened on Marco's show. Marco hit the jackpot, though, because what a place to get charitable with a group of guys who have a lot of money invested in wristwatches. And, you know, there's a few people who have extra disposable income. So I think, Marco, you're just in the right place at the right time, buddy, with that one. But look, if you just go out there, give a little to family, friends, strangers who are in need. I can tell you now, karma does come back. It may not be immediately, but it will come back to you tenfold.
I'll tell you a small story, something similar to this, right? There's a customer of mine at my shop, and I hadn't seen him for a while, and I had his number. So I thought I'll, just check on him and see how he is. He was actually very ill for a couple of weeks and never told me why. But he goes, well, I might be able to come in and eat at all. I go, okay, well, can you do me a favor? I said to him. He goes, what? I said, when you go back to work, the first day you go back to work, can you just come in and I'll share your feed and a drink and whatever you want, my man. No, on me. There's no qualms. And do you know how good I felt by doing that? Because I don't only look people as a customer. I look them as a human being and as a person that you can respect and make yourself feel good at the same time as making them feel good. So by doing things like that, it makes you a better person, and you look at things a lot differently, you know. And exactly what Mr. Two said, there is a feeling of giving that you can't even explain it. It's big or small. It doesn't matter what it is. It's remarkable how good you can feel by doing something for somebody else without wanting anything back. Do you know what I mean? And that's the best thing I could say.
I bet when that guy's kid ends up with that watch and he is telling the story of that watch to like his grandkid.
Absolutely.
So that'll be unbelievable.
You know, that's
that's why we collect watches. That's what it's all about. The stories we make.
That watch won't leave that family. Yep. I mean, that will stay in generations to come, right? So,
by the way, Tommy has a great question. Says, Marco, I think your Bruce Wayne was from an AD. How long did you wait for it? Well, I'm not going to have to wait because that AD is a special AD, the man, the myth, the legend, MJT. We love MJT, guys.
Yes, he's a legend.
Great question. Jay Sykes, Marco, would you rather have a Batgirl or an arty girl? Come on, guys. This is my personal channel. It's not supposed to abuse me on this channel, guys. Come on. What the heck? And then this is the best one. How we keep saying this, and it's not fun. Marco is going to give Artie the Explorer and explore her. Mark my words. Come on, guys. That is just nasty. But yeah, listen, just to wrap up the collection review for Watch Therapist, man, you got a great collection. You're heading in the right direction. No worries about straying away from Rolex. If this Mr. 2 kind of learning lesson has taught us anything is, listen, there's no problem going outside of your comfort zone, but then admitting that you like a certain watch. That's it, man. Guys, I can respect a man who goes out of his comfort zone to try something different and then realizes, you know what, it's just not what I enjoy. So stick to what you know, stick to what you enjoy wearing, and get the Rolex. Rolex, I would say, wait for the Pepsi, get a Daytona, and get more Rolex. Just more Rolex, and maybe a VC overseas chronograph. Go ahead,
I got to take off, Marco. Good show.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me.
Talking to all you guys.
Take care. Take care,
See you later. Bye.
Pleasure as always.
Alrighty, now we're going to move on to the second collection review, which is on our good friend, Spence R.
Spence R, shout out to you, buddy.
This is going to be a good one.
What a collection. So he just messaged me or emailed me. He said,
Spencer's got a beautiful collection.
Obviously, without giving away any details, said backstory is that I'm looking to consolidate. Thought is to flick 2 to 3 pieces to get fewer but nicer pieces. The 3-2-1 speedy is coming. So let's just give you a couple of thoughts off the cuff. What do I think of the collection? Like me dead. What a collection, guys. Look at this. I mean, you know how much I love that VC overseas, or excuse me, the VC Historiques 1942. That's a triple calendar. I like the blue one because blue is my favorite color, but the red one, I mean, you take your pick which one you prefer. What a gorgeous watch. Oh, that stepped case, the cream dial, triple calendar. I mean, unbelievable. Next is an FP Journe Chronometre Souverain Platinum, which he just recently acquired. Jesus Christ. This is where the land of horological dreams are made of, guys. The land of horological dreams. FP Journe Chronometre Souverain. Ooh, fuck me dead. This is amazing. Unbelievable. The H. Moser Green Mosaic. Guys, I got to tell you, I don't love green watches, but what's his name? Tim Mosso from Watchbox actually just did a 4K review of this watch. And, man, I got to tell you, this is the one green watch I'd probably get, which is crazy to say. It is unbelievable.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I love it to bits. When he first posted this, I was like, wow, that's just, you can just stare at that forever. And I think I mentioned, I'm sure people can look at this dial. I mean, this picture's a bit blurry with a high def picture. There's so much detail in there, and everyone's going to see different things. For me, it's like a bird's eye view of in like the Southeast Asia rice paddy fields, having like a bird's eye view down on it. That's kind of what I see and what it reminds me of. But beautiful, beautiful dress watch. I mean, if I needed more dress watches, I'd probably have to consider something like that. But yeah, straps are not my best friend.
I mean, I got to tell you guys, what a knockout collection right there. And then a nice, because you need a steel Rolex backbone. He's got a beautiful silver dial Datejust. I think apart from the blue, that's my next favorite, is actually that silverish dial. Beautiful, beautiful. You need a steel core backbone because it's just easy to wear every day. You kind of wind it, you set it, you wear it. Super usable. Makes you feel good inside that you have a Rolex. And man, I gotta tell you, gorgeous watch.
Just a quick shout out to Nut and Asian. There are free drinks at the bar. Free drinks.
There you go. Next is the watch I'm getting. I can't wait. The Bruce Wayne. Oh, what a gorgeous watch. I got to tell you guys. Oh, my goodness. Fike me dead. That is unbelievable. Look at that Bruce Wayne. Just gorgeous. I mean, what more can I say? I've been looking at Bruce Wayne reviews now every day since MJT told me he's going to get me a Bruce Wayne. I probably watch like 4 to 5 reviews, and I'll rewatch the same reviews just because I'm fucking crazy. But whew, what a collection! Next is I believe this is the 40, right? It might be the 41. Let's see.
Looks like a 40.
No, because it doesn't have the coronet, right? So it's the 40.
Yeah.
So it's a 40 date sub. I mean, is there a better watch? Probably not. But just a Submariner's classic, very easy. You can always wear that. I think it's just perfect. Just gorgeous watch. Just do. Perfect, 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 perfect. Absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, why is it doing this to me? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. It won't let me click. No, what's it doing? Okay, anyways, we can just keep this view. Then we got the Speedy. The Speedy. That's the 1861. I believe the Sapphire Sandwich, if I'm not mistaken. Also a great watch, but we'll get into that in a little bit, just because obviously you're getting the 321. And you've got the Portuguese chronograph, which I also feel is a great watch. So what do I think overall of the collection? I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than it's absolutely knockout. It's out of this world beautiful. And yeah, man, I got to tell you, I think it's just unbelievable. I think this is just a knockout collection. Guys, is this happiness? I mean, just look at this. You got all your bases covered. You got some unbelievable watches. What do we think, Mr. Chu?
Where's the day date? Where is the day date? Because look, it is an impressive collection, and you're hitting up in that territory, right? And if we want to go up, I think there is a day date and possibly a Daytona.
Right.
What would you get rid of, Mr. Two?
That's what we're going to get into. Hold on. I want to get your initial thoughts of the collection. Mr. Jim T, what do you think, man? And just to answer this, EPC acquisition, yeah, so it's a Platinum Chronomed Souverain. 40mm Platinum Chronomed Souverain. Go ahead, Mr. Jim T.
Yeah, I'm right with Mr. Two. A day date, because he hasn't got a solid gold piece, does he? So that would be perfect for his collection. That would really finish it off nicely.
But what do you think of the collection overall?
Well, I think it's beautiful. In general, the whole thing, it's gorgeous. Every single piece he's got in there is gorgeous. I'm not a big fan of the Moser, it's just me, but besides that, everything else is just perfect. Like he's got complications, he's got, you know, wind and wears, he's got a bit of everything in there. It's just pretty cool.
Right.
So, and he's got a chronograph, so he's got everything, but yeah, obviously he'll want to consolidate and go down with what, you know, to get what he wants to get after that. But what I would want to add to that would be a day date, because that's all he really needs, a solid gold piece, and it'll be perfect for it.
Stephen, our good captain, what do we think?
What do we think? So shout out to Spence R, because he knows horology and he knows watches. So nothing I say is going to be enlightening to him, because this collection is, you know, punches weight. I can't say it punches above its weight, because it's a very, very heavy hitter collection. So
right.
I envy this collection. So for me to give any opinion on it is you know, hard to say, but I will. I like the gold idea, because he needs gold. Well, he doesn't need it, but it would be an idea, because he has white gold. So maybe he just doesn't like gold, and he may tell us in the chat, or even a rose. And just based upon the collection itself, he has a Langa and the Journe, and I think you should add a Trinity piece. You know, pick your poison.
It does have a Trinity piece.
Which one?
The top left. Top left is a VC.
Oh, that's a VC. That's right. A VC. Okay, I misspoke. I thought that was a Langa.
No, that's a VC, and then he's got a Journe and a Moser.
Okay, so yeah, okay. He's got that covered. So he doesn't need one, not that he did. He can go Langa. I think he should get a Langa, or a Paddock.
He says, isn't Portuguese nicest on a navy blue leather shirt? I think it's gorgeous on a navy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Just to do a quick sidebar from Jonah, he says, thoughts for the panel. Do you think that the unimpressive Rolex release is part of the reason we all love Rolex so much? Rolex forces us in on the details, unlike a company like Omega. Listen, Rolex releases were disappointing as Spike. I hope that they won't continue like this in the future, because I think it will actually soften their leadership as a market leader in the watch industry. I think it's actually not good for Rolex to have unimpressive releases like this and not giving the people what they want. Just my thoughts, guys. Just my thoughts. Now, in terms of what I think of the collection, this is an absolute knockout of a collection. I think you've got a good balance of high horology to steel sports, usable pieces. And that's kind of the grain in which I'm going to provide all my recommendations. Now, I think that the keepers of your collection, there's 5 keepers. I think that the VC Historiques 1942 is a keeper, because it's a complicated watch. You don't have any complications. And I think it's just perfect, you know, considering what he does, obviously not getting into the specifics. I think that's a perfect under the radar, something you can wear every day, very easy, super beautiful. And to me, it's just, I mean, it's a Holy Trinity piece. I wouldn't be getting rid of that. I would definitely keep that. The FP Journe Chronomed Souverain Platinum, I mean, you just added it, but what else to say other than it's absolutely gorgeous. There's nothing else to say. The Moser is another keeper. I think, again, it's probably the only green dial watch I would ever consider, and that says a lot, because I really hate green dial watches. But you know, Moser is one of the true manufacturers of watches who can actually claim that they do everything in house. So Moser gets a lot of credit from me, a lot of kudos. I think this is a gorgeous watch, definitely a keeper long term in the collection. I think that the sub date is a perfect weekend watch. It's a perfect everyday watch. I definitely think that you should keep this as part of your collection, just because it's a perfect beater steel sports watch. And last but not least is the Bruce Wayne. I think that's another keeper. You need a GMT complication, and I think that there is no better maker of the GMT other than Rolex. So that's the 5 that I think are absolute total keepers in the collection. Just want to give a shout out to Shane. Hello, Shane. Guys, if you didn't know, I did review Shane's watch collection in the last live stream, so feel free to check that out. And EPC says he seems to like watches on straps. Right. So I know he said he's adding the 321 Speedmaster, right? So in terms of what should he go for next, I would get rid of the 1861. I would get rid of the IWC Portugueser. And I think I would also get rid of the Datejust. I think all of those, if you're getting the 321 Speedmaster, you don't need the Portugueser because it's a dress chronograph and you've got most of your dress watch bases covered. I don't think you need the 1861 Speedy Sapphire Sandwich if you're getting the 321. And I don't think that you need the Datejust because it's it's somewhat dressy and you've already got kind of the dress segments covered. What do you guys think?
The IWC for me is staring at me and not in a good way. Where's the AP? So I'm
not there.
I'm thinking, Spencer, you need to get your butt down to AP. I would love to see the IWC be replaced with a code 1159 chronograph in pink gold.
Ooh, man, that's big money. That is big money. This is a Chronomed Super.
This is a big collection. And Spencer, I know you do some long hours, buddy. Reward yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, those are the 3. Honestly,
you know which one I'm talking about, though, Marco?
Pull that one up.
I can pull it up.
Yeah, sure. Is that the Aventurine?
Yeah, let's have a look at it.
Sorry, it was the AP. Remind me again.
1159 chronograph in pink gold. Hang on, let me see. Copy, paste. There you go. Private chat.
Perfect, even better.
It's interesting with the 1159 because I struggle with it, and we may have already had this conversation, Mr. Two, that it gets so much hate in the watch community from the initial release of it that should that color your judgment? It shouldn't, but it does inevitably.
Listen, I think it's a great watch, but as chronographs go, I think that there are better ones out there. I think also what you see in Spence's collection, he's not a big fan of non-white metal watches. So I don't know if I would go for that. I think there's just better chronographs overall, Mr. Chu. Like, for example, I would say I would say a longer chronograph, like an 1815, is probably similar money on the secondary market. And in my opinion, I think that honestly, I would get rid of. I would get an 1815 chronograph over this. I think a 5170 in yellow gold is probably similar money. I think in white is probably a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I don't know. It's just not what I would recommend, Mr. Two, but I think this is still a great pick if this is what you enjoy, Spence, by all means. Jesus.
I was trying to break up the I was thinking of trying to break up the steel and white gold look of his collection to introduce a bit of color. Of course, he needs to be into that.
Yes.
But he's lacking a chrono, he's lacking an AP, and he's lacking any other type of precious metal in the collection. So this is what kind of jumped at me to tick the boxes very quickly. I'm sure there's other ones out there and better chronos, hands down. But I don't want him to buy a bigger watch box, so we don't want to tempt him too much.
Yeah. Listen, again, I'll just reiterate. I think it's a gorgeous watch. And if he likes this, by all means, I mean, I would say I would get this and actually try and squeeze something out of the AP dealership, like some kind of blue dial Royal I think it can definitely do that as a 2-piece. You know what I mean?
I was thinking Royal Oak, but
right.
if you actually have a look at his collection, I was trying to visualize how does a Royal Oak fit into that watch box. It's very different to the traditional circular watches that he seems to be attracted to.
Oh no, Mr. Chu, I think you misunderstood me. I think I would get this, then get a blue dial Royal Oak, and then flick that blue dial Royal Oak, just so you end up net positive.
Mark is a flipper, of course. I forgot.
Stop bashing the Royal Oak, please.
No, I think the
Royal Oak owners.
I would get this.
Very sensitive about the best piece in my collection.
No, listen, I think it's a great watch, but I'm saying
it's
like
beautiful. But I agree, it doesn't seem like it's a watch that appeal. Well, maybe we're wrong, but Spencer is it or Spencer?
No, but what I'm saying
doesn't seem like he would go for that type of a watch. Otherwise, you can go for an all gold or a rose gold with the chocolate dial or black dial Royal Oak, and that would be a banger. And you flick 3. Yes. We'll get to the 3 watches that. Well, I don't know if he wants to trim down.
Sentimentality aside, right? Because I have no idea if that Speedy, the Datejust, or the IWC mean anything.
I think all 3 of those could go. And at the moment, I'm not drinking the Moser Kool-Aid, but I think that watch has a lot of meaning and appeal to high horology folks. And the dial, I guess I have to take a look at Tim's video on that dial. They do make a beautiful, I guess what do they call it? Fuchsia? I don't know the pronunciation of the way they do it. Fume dial.
Yeah.
Right? That everyone is now copying. So there you have it. But I think he'll keep the Moser, no doubt. He's not getting rid of it.
This year you're talking about, right? This is what you're talking about, Steven?
That's one of them. I think they have. What is it?
Right, they have many. I'm pretty sure it's just a regular.
Yeah, because they have. I think the one he
Endeavor,
has,
right? It's just an Endeavor center second.
Okay. I mean, Moser makes very, to me, I think their collection is very uniform, right? They're not coming out with a lot of different dial variations. I wish they did. But I think that extra piece that we're all trying to fit into his collection should be kind of different than what he already has. It's a little bit out of the box.
Right. But so far, what do you guys think of the recommendation? I'd say keep the VC, keep the Journe, keep the Moser. I'd say keep the Sub, keep the Bruce Wayne. Flick the other 3, the IWC Portugueser, the Speedy, and the Datejust. Listen, sentimentality aside, because again, I have no idea if those watches mean anything, broader to him. But guys, you're not gonna build shrine for these things when we pass away. You gotta what's it called? You gotta get the watches that you enjoy wearing. So I would flick those 3 and get the 321. That would be one of them. I think AP is a great option. If you like the Royal Oak, I would go Royal Oak. If you like the Code 1159 that Mr. Chu suggested, which I think is actually a great suggestion, I would just use it to squeeze a boutique to get you what's it called? A blue dial Royal Oak, and then flip that because you can just make free profit. You know what I mean? Why would you leave money on the table if you can do that? So I would say try that. Man, it's so hard because he's got so many great watches and so many bases covered that I don't even know what to suggest to him. You know what I mean?
How big is that IWC? Because that looks huge.
I think it's 41. 41.
Wow, it's only 41.
Right.
Gosh, it's so much bigger.
Right. Ooh, look at this. He says, drop the boring Sub. But you need a steel backbone. Like a weekend watch that you can just beat around. I think a Sub is perfect for that. You know what I mean?
Well, he's got 5 on leather straps.
Right.
So this fits the profile of his occupation to a T, in my mind at least. 5 leather straps, and then he's got the 3 bracelets. However, the Datejust is not much of a beach watch or a casual bash around. Your GMT, no, not on a Jubilee. It's too dressy. Your Sub is, like Marco said, it's the everyday, it's the beater, it's the one that takes the bashing, and being black is going to go with whatever you're wearing, regardless. So I think the Sub has to stay. Out of everything, it's almost certain that thing has to stay.
Right. I think the sub, the Bruce Wayne. I think we're pretty set on the 5, right? The first 3 and then the bottom 2.
For a splash of color, I'd swap the Bruce Wayne for a Pepsi.
That's also a good option, but I prefer
I just
the
want to
Bruce
colorize
Wayne.
the collection, man. I want to pop, and I'm saying I need to work on. You know, I have things to do too, but
You've got a Hulk.
That's the green. Yeah, but yeah.
You need something blue.
I got a splash of gold with the 2-tone, which is nice.
You need a bluesy. You need a bluesy.
No,
you would suit a bluesy to a T.
Yeah,
he's got the Bumblebee.
Didn't happen. I got
another 2-tone. I actually like the Bumblebee. Yeah, I really like the Bumblebee.
I got to tell you, the Bumblebee is an everyday wear. I mean, I'm not going to call it a beater, but it's an everyday wear.
Good. Yeah.
So,
it's a good one.
Very beautiful too. I love the blues.
I'm very lucky. I know Spence a little bit, so I'm going to go a little off the horological deep end, right? I think, listen, he's got 2 great watches that are everyday wearers, right? And he's going to add the 3-2-1. I think the 3-2-1, the Batman or the Bruce Wayne, and I think the sub are great kind of everyday watches that you can flick on your wrist and you're not too worried because they're not super delicate, right? I think what's next to add? Mike, this is really tough. I mean, you got an in at a Journe boutique, right? So if you can squeeze a chronometer blue, why not? I think that's one thing you should definitely explore. But I would go, what's it called? The FP Journe. It's that double resonance. That's the one. FP Journe resonance. If you can get a resonance, I would try and squeeze a resonance out of him, out of your local boutique. Say, listen, I like the chronometer blue, but I've been thinking about it, and honestly, I like a resonance. When I say this, guys, there are so few watches that have 2 balance wheels that work in a watch together. This is a piece of horology that is just unbelievable. I mean, that I know of, there's the MBNF LM2. There's the Philip Dufour Duality, as it's known as, which was the first one to do it. And then there's this one. So there's 3 watches in the world that actually accomplish what this accomplished with the movement, which is this right here, which is just stunning. I mean, look at that. It is just stunning. So honestly, I would say if you can get another Journe, and specifically the resonance, oh man, this is the way I would go, Spence.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah,
man.
if he could leverage the Journe connection.
Right.
Because that's his best bet, and you're getting a Journe, and the value is so much higher than what the retail Journe goes for.
Because listen, everybody grows after a chronometer blue, and listen, don't get me wrong, it's a nice watch, and the story behind it is great. But you've got a chronometer Souverain, and it's in platinum. I think that's honestly better than a chronometer blue. If I'm being totally honest with you, I would go after this personally.
Is this white gold, Marco?
I think it's actually platinum.
Platinum, another platinum. Okay.
Right, it would be another platinum piece.
Yep. And I see some folks in the chat are saying he can get rid of the sub.
No, I wouldn't get rid of the sub. I would not get rid of the sub guy. He needs a steel backbone. He needs watches that he can wear and beat around. The 3-2-1, the Bruce Wayne, and the sub are perfect for that. It's exactly
why are they saying to get rid of the sub? What's the reason for that?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, guys.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's a stupid idea.
No, I wouldn't get rid of the sub. Absolutely not.
Well, maybe trade it for a bluesy or something else.
Not a bad.
Boring sub. Someone said, I don't know. I have a sub. I've had a sub for so long. You need a black sub, so I would keep it. I'm just trying, and I think if the suggestions we made, he's already flicking off three of his pieces.
Right. So I would try and get this. This is the first one I would go for. So flick those 3 that I mentioned earlier. Get the 3-2-1 to replace the, what's it called, the 1861 Speedmaster, and I would get an FP Journe resonance as a replacement as one of. The other one I would get, this is difficult. Honestly, I would wait. He likes green, right? I think I would go this. Another Moser, a green streamliner. Or I would wait until they come out with one on the blue dial right here. What do you guys think? That would be my 2.
You're gonna add you're gonna add a Moser?
Yeah, another Moser.
Okay, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the opposite side of that trade. But I'll let you guys go. GMT, my buddy.
Just get a Tag Heuer Monaco, mate. I love mine.
A friend of mine mentioned it. They mentioned it, Mr. GMT. They said, "Hey, you're racking your brain about a chrono. You're talking about all these."
Again, I wouldn't get this one, right? I would wait until they come out with this. So they have the streamliner with the green dial. He already has a green mosaic dial. I would wait because he doesn't have a blue dial in the collection, right? I would wait because they're eventually going to make one, just a streamliner that is a non-chronograph with this blue dial here. I would wait and get that. That would be my that, or I would go another VC, the overseas. VC overseas.
And I would take the Royal Oak with the green dial that just came out, the 15500.
Jesus. We were talking about that. Did you know how much they're going for? How ridiculous is that?
Where are they now? Where are they?
They're in the like 300s, aren't they?
That's the Paddock, they said.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we're talking. Yeah, sorry. I mixed them up. Yep, my bad.
It's all right.
My bad.
But those are crazy prices. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. That's not the real. That can't be the real price. Though, I got to tell you, I think a lot of folks are going to like that green. I think people got tired. They're not tired of the blue, but it's just been out for so long that it's just something different, and everyone is now gravitating. And they did an amazing job on that watch. So, yeah, I would say either one of those over the Moser.
That's nice, but that is nice.
Yeah, but. Okay, let's go down the panel. So just to wrap up my thoughts, I think let's go back to his collection right here. 1 second. What would I do? What would I do with this collection? Just to reiterate, I think I would flick the Datejust, flick the IWC Portugueser, and flick the Speedy. I'd get the 321 Speedmaster, which is already incoming. I would get an FP Journe Resonance. And then the last one I would get is probably either the Blue Dial Moser Streamliner, if they come out with one, or the VC Overseas Chronograph. I would personally, I'm actually leaning more, now that I think about it, the VC Overseas Blue Chronograph. That's the way I would go. Mr. GMT, what do you think, man? What would you do?
All right. I would flick. But I'm still not a big Moser fan, so I'll probably flick the Moser, IWC. Well, what's he got? What did you say he's got incoming? What's he got incoming?
A Speedy 321.
Yeah, I'd flick the Speedy. Yeah, I'd flick that and get the Ed White. So that's what 1, 2, 3, and
well, you're just replacing. You'd be replacing the Ed White, the 1861 Speedy or 1863 Speedy. With
just replace that. Yes, so get rid of the Speedy and get the Ed White. Get rid of the Moser and the thing and the Datejust and the IWC and get a because he'll have a chronograph, so he's got plenty of chronographs, and I'll probably get a date. Solid gold.
Those are all great selections. Mr. 2, what do you think, man?
I don't like the IWC. It's the only one that kind of stands out and says, "Get rid of me, flush me." It's very dress heavy. Like I said, he's got 5 dress watches, all on leather straps. It's so difficult. It's a shame that Spencer didn't join us. It would be love to get. I'd love to get some feedback, some like live feedback on what we're thinking, because if I throw out there the code 1159 and he's like, no way in hell, that's not his aesthetic, then we can change tracks. But for me, there's too many dress watches. He needs to swap the IWC with. This is very hard. I don't know.
I know this is so hard. Like
this is actually really hard because this is not a Rolex heavy collection. Yeah, he's got three pieces.
Oh man!
But I'm really struggling here. Normally, it's really easy. You're like, get rid of this, replace it with that, blah blah blah. But it's because of the way he has collected these, and it being very dress heavy, and they are all nice pieces. Don't get me wrong. Plus, knowing his professional background, it's like I understand where he's going. It does make sense, this collection, but if I'm a punter in the cheap seats, there's clearly a chronograph missing from this collection, and I think it needs to be a steel piece, nothing on a strap. It's got to be bracelet, whatever that is.
What's Ed White coming? Is Ed White on a strap or is it on a bracelet?
On a bracelet.
Well, there you go. Perfect.
So I think, Marco, you mentioned replacing what is that, a sapphire for a 321?
Right.
Yeah, definitely, hands down. That's smaller though, isn't it?
40, yeah.
It
40
is.
mils.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, definitely. If he could, if he could do that, get rid of that as well. I think he needs a Daytona. I think he needs a Daytona in a precious metal. And does he want to toy with the idea of rubber?
Also not a bad option.
Meteorite on rubber. There you go. There's your not quite a strap, but you don't have a rubber strap in your collection, and it keeps with your silver and black theme that you've got going.
I forgot to ask this. Does he want to fill up the box back up again with watches, or did you just want to streamline it and get?
Yes. Fill it back.
Oh, he wants to fill it back up again.
Right.
Okay, I was misunderstood. Sorry.
And Stephen, to our good captain, what do you think, man?
Man, this just got more difficult with all the ideas. Marco, I agree with the ones we're gonna flick off the three that you spoke about. Even though the Datejust, look, it's a beautiful watch with the silver dial.
It just doesn't make sense within his collection.
Yeah.
He's got way better dress watches.
I mean, he does, but how tied is he to getting rid of one versus the other? Because I can make a case. Okay, he sold me to keep the sub, but the Bruce Wayne, could go as well. One of those two Rolei can go. He can pick which one. In terms of the Moser, you like that? Which was the Moser you mentioned? The Streamliner.
Right.
I would replace the one in the box with that. So we got a 1-for-1 swap deal. And I'm not going to add a second Moser. I'll add your Journe, Marco, because you're the Cardinal. So you know the deal.
That is a beautiful watch, but that FP Journe that you showed.
It's gorgeous. Beautiful. It's gorgeous.
The resonance is ridiculous.
And now we're just looking for that last piece, and I'm hearing the Daytona on rubber is a nice idea, but I'm going to go with the AP. It could be the code 1159, or it could be a 15500 on. Well, forget about the green because it's just too. I don't think that's going to happen. He could get a black dial. I think they retired the 15202, so they got to come out with a. No, they came out with the green 202. Okay, you can get a 15500 or a code 1159. Other than that, get a Paddock.
There you go. Hope you enjoyed the collection review, Spence. Let's move on because, man, this one is mind-boggling. This is a hard one.
Yeah.
This is a hard one to review, especially on the spot. I just got the collection review today.
I love the way we just flicked off three of his watches, though.
Right.
Listen,
that's what we're good at.
Like, throw out one of these, just replace the whole collection. And it's a gorgeous collection as is. He doesn't have to do a thing.
That's right. He doesn't. You're right on the money there, Captain.
Thank you.
This is our good friend GB. I don't know if GB is still in the chat, but I know he said, I read his comment. He said he's more of a blue-collar worker, doesn't really care for dress. I think he said he wants 2 more pieces, and then he's done. So
this is cool. I'm liking it so far. So what have we got? A pre-ceramic sub.
Right.
We got a ceramic no date. That's a 40 ml by the looks. We got the Pepsi. We got a Diet Pepsi and a Speedy. This is it's very well rounded.
Yeah,
yep, I like it too.
I mean, he sent me an email. So he said, let's just first read this. He said, I'm a blue collar guy wanting 2 more Rolex watches, so no dress watches. Then I'm done collecting for a while. And he said in his email, thinking a Daytona or Bluesy, what do you think? Congrats on the success of the show, which was foremost. Thank you so much, GB. Secondly, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think it's exactly what you're missing. I think you're missing a small splash of gold. If you're a blue-collar guy, you don't need something full gold, but a little splash, I think a Bluesy is perfect. It'll be different because it breaks up the kind of monotonous black dials, all the black dials.
I'd like the sub to be replaced. I'd like the sub date to be replaced with either a Hulk or a Cermet to add some color.
Right.
What about Kermit? No, the thing is, what about a Kermit, because he likes pre-ceramic? So
absolutely, actually, yeah. Replace the pre-ceramic with a Kermit if you want to keep the vintage. That's definitely.
But yeah, I would definitely say get the Bluesy, and I think you need a Rolex chronograph. So again, it seems like you've got a pretty good in at an AD GB. I mean, I can't tell you if you honestly do, but I would definitely go as kind of an end game. Oh, it was a gift from his dad. That's what I thought. Yeah, so that pre-ceramic sub is a gift from his dad.
You can't get rid of that. You can't. You can't. Just can you add? Is he gonna? Does he want to add? Like, he doesn't want to take anything away, right? Is that?
Yeah, he wants to add 2 more. Yeah. Add 2 more.
Okay.
He doesn't want to get rid of anything. He just wants to add 2 more.
Why would you flick off the pre-ceramic sub?
No, I wouldn't flick that off.
Never.
So I would say add a Bluesy for a bit of color, difference in color, and I think it's also just a beautiful watch. And I think you need another, what's it called? Another chronograph. I think you've got 2 GMTs, 2 divers. I think you need 2 chronographs.
Yeah, either get a Daytona or get my favorite, the Monaco.
Let's pull that up, man. Maybe I'll get a Monaco just for Mr. GMT.
Sure.
I love the one. Do you want to see my Monaco? Do you want to see?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think I may have seen it, but I'd love to see it again.
Yeah, okay. I'll put my camera on 1 second.
Okay.
I was just laying down, just enjoying the conversation.
Oh, I didn't
get up and
I didn't mean.
No. No. I don't mind showing off. I'm a bit of a show off, so that's all right.
Yeah, I figured you'd like it. The Monaco. Yeah, he should get a Daytona.
I think so too. I think he took the words right out of my mouth. He's seen this collection before, maybe on AC3. Yeah, he's definitely seen it on
beautiful,
AC3.
gorgeous piece.
Yeah, get one of these, bro. Hey, I love it. I get so many compliments. I'm not kidding you. I get so many compliments on this. It's ridiculous. More than a lot of my other. Maybe because it's a square watch. I think it really it attracts the eye. Maybe that's what it is. But I get heaps of compliments on it.
It's the dial. It's the whole combination, right? That makes it.
And it's got the Steve McQueen cool. So
yeah, and look at that. The square sub dials.
Yeah. I love it. I really do.
What a design! That's like it's like an Andy Warhol painting.
Yeah.
Or something. It's like a piece of, maybe that's not even accurate. It's like a piece of art. It's a piece of art.
They're very smart in the way they designed it to begin with, considering in the 70s, this was out of the box design. It was just they threw it together and they gave it to Steve McQueen, and he used it on Le Mans. So yeah, it's a pretty cool story.
Talk about the racing heritage, because I'm looking for a real. And I know the Daytona with Paul, kind of the driving racing heritage.
Yeah.
For car people, and if you enjoy cars and have like driving cars, you have to get a nice driving piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
But I was thinking of throwback, like on a leather strap. you know, not like a Speedy, not even maybe not a Daytona.
Yeah, but I think this is a pretty easy and straightforward collection review.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, GB, you've got an amazing collection. I think, listen, obviously I'm not going to count your dad's watch as part of your collection because I'm talking your watch specifically. You got one diver, so add another diver, the Bluesy. This would get 2 divers.
Okay.
Then you got 2 GMTs, and then 2 chronographs. So I would add a Daytona, Bluesy and Daytona. And then you've got your dad's watch also. So that's just perfect to me. 7 watches, 1 for every day of the week. That's it. Ooh, GB says Tudor chrono. No, don't settle. GB, if you're going to get a Bluesy, get one more knockout watch. Like, get yourself a nice, actually, steel Daytona might be a bit hard. So maybe Tudor chrono isn't a bad idea.
Let me
actually, it might not be a bad idea.
Well, the thing is, because he's a blue collar worker, right? So he can go for a. I would, if I was in his shoes, because he feels. I feel like I'm a bit like him, right? I would probably go for pre-ceramic Bluesy, all right, because he obviously does like the pre-ceramic.
No, I think you can get this. I think you can get this at what's it called, from his AD.
You reckon he could? You reckon he could?
Yeah, he definitely can. I'm pretty sure he has an in and an AD.
Oh, sweet. Then that's even better. I'll get the Bluesy, 100% get the Bluesy. And after that, and if you can get a Daytona after that, get a Daytona, because it's a win-win combination.
I would get a steel Daytona, Mr. GMT. I would just go a pre-ceramic bezel. So I would get like the one that, what's his name, Classic Penis Pump has.
Yes.
With the new clasp, right? From the 2010s or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can get it from his AD, the Bluesy.
And they're nice. Yeah, like we saw it last night at Mr. Two's place. And it's a beautiful watch, man. That is gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
What is that? Which one is that? Is that
the Zenith?
Yeah, so it's a steel bezel Daytona, but it's got the modern clasp. It's got the modern clasp. It's like they made it up until 2015, I'm pretty sure, something like that.
Yep. White dial?
Nice.
No, I would get black dial. I would get black.
Okay.
Yeah, I would get black.
But you know what? You know what? By what Captain just said, he hasn't got any white dials. He hasn't got anything in white. You know, it's all black. So it would be a good idea to actually get it in white. I know you probably don't like it, Marco. He might, but as just to break it up a bit. You know, so he's got something a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's what I think would be a good idea.
Well, isn't that the goal of the Bluesy? The Bluesy breaks it up a bit, no?
Yeah, the Bluesy does, but he hasn't got like a white face. So, you know, because you could wear white with a lot of other things too.
You can't go wrong with either. You know what I mean? It comes down to preference at that point.
Yeah, that's right. You're right on the money.
I think Bluesy and Daytona, those are the ones to get.
But since he's going with the Daytona, he's going to get that secondary market, gray market.
Right, but they're not expensive. Actually, they're not that expensive. They sell for way less than a ceramic Daytona.
Yeah, because I think the steel bezel is a.
GB says Explorer 2 and Daytona. No. Get the Bluesy. You need a Bluesy. You need a change of color. You need a Bluesy, 100%.
Yeah, Marco's right on the money. Yep, definitely.
Bluesy, yes. And then
the Bluesy is 100% certain. Then, in terms of chronograph, you can get Tudor chronograph or Daytona, whichever one.
Yeah,
whichever one you want.
If he's angling for a chronograph, that's true. That's true.
But yeah. Those are the ones, GB. I hope you enjoyed the collection. To me, that's super easy and straightforward. Bluesy, and then you take your pick on the chronograph. If you want to go more expensive, I'd say probably go the pre-ceramic Daytonas with the modern clasp, like Classic has. Or I would go the Tudor. The new Tudor chronographs are actually very nice. Black or white dial, I think you can't go wrong. There you go, my man. Hey, GB, if you want me to answer anything else, I mean, this is pretty brief compared to Spence, but... I think you've got a great collection, and it's very exactly. He's got a very concise direction to head into.
Yeah.
Spence has so many options that you can choose from.
You know what? It was giving me a headache looking at it. I'm trying to think, what the hell are we going to do with this collection? It's unbelievable because it's such an awesome collection. You know, it's just hard.
I've got a video file that I can share with Spence R. I don't know exactly what the meaning of it is, but it will probably give you an insight on how confusing it was for us to critique your collection. So, Spencer, this video file is for you. Try to diagnose and understand what it means. So let me share my screen. Okay. All right.
Oh, I know. I think I know where we're going with this.
No, not this. Not
yeah,
this.
I think
what does this mean, Spencer?
Yes, it is.
Can you please just explain to us, what does it mean?
What I'm going to tell you guys first and foremost is give you a word of caution and warning. This is not for the faint of heart. Okay, this is not for the faint of heart.
Here we go.
What does this mean? What does this mean, Spencer? It's hurting my brain. Yes, I understand. Yes, okay.
Oh
yes.
God.
Oh, I'm just so confused.
I can't believe it. I had a feeling it was this.
Oh, God bless. We love
Spencer, now you know how we feel.
We love our good.
I ended up buying him a bottle of scotch, so hopefully he goes and picks it up.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm sick of seeing him drink that red label crap.
What'd you get?
I got him a gold label.
Very nice.
The one that I drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, if he's going to drink it, I might as well get him something I enjoy drinking, so he can drink that.
You could drink it together.
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect.
Alrighty, guys. This is the last collection review that I've got scheduled for the night. I actually got this in right after I got GB's collection. It's from somebody named Ariana. Hello, Ariana. I hope you're well. Not many females who usually watch the show, so glad to have you. She said, "Hi, Marco. I enjoy your content. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, I don't have a good enough camera to show my collection, but I found all HD pics on their site. Should I downsize, replace, or keep this?" So I'm going to work with the assumption that you own all of these watches currently. I mean, let's just go through these. I mean, she's got the same yellow gold world time as Archie. I got to tell you guys, what a beautiful watch. That is unbelievable.
Spence, I was thinking of Spence R when I saw that watch, by the way.
Wow,
that's a great watch. That's another good option for him also.
Is it
just popped into
hang on,
is
this a lady that owns these watches, are you saying?
Yeah, so her name in the I don't know like what her actual or what his or her actual name is, but Ariana is the name in the email.
So it could be a guy, it could be a woman, so we don't know.
We have no idea, but I'll just work with the assumption her name is Ariana. Next is the Blue Dial Rose Gold AP Royal Oak on a leather strap. What a knockout watch, unbelievable. Longa 1815 Rose Gold with a black dial. I mean, what a watch. She's got a beautiful DLNR, a Bruce Wayne on a Jubilee. Unbelievable. What a beautiful watch. I can't wait to get that in. Then she's got a Patek annual calendar, rose gold with a white dial.
Wow, that's beautiful too.
A full gold Fikov blue Submariner. A anniversary reverso with a red dial. A rose gold Daytona with a ceramic bezel and a white dial on rubber. A Patek Aquanaut in rose gold on rubber. And this is the Vacheron Constantin, I believe it's the 56 annual calendar.
Sorry, who sent this to you?
Yeah, so her name is Ariana. Yeah,
yes.
Seriously. Listen, Ariana, I am a young, eligible bachelor by all means.
Marco
I know her. I actually know her, Ariana Laya. Yes, very familiar with her, Miss Ariana Laya. Great collection. I love the screenshots of all the watches. Is this? I don't know. It's incredibly heavy hitting.
Right.
It's a heavy hitting collection. I'd love to see it in a watch box, if I'm completely honest. It's great to see the stock images, but it's nice to see the real thing.
Yes,
that's true.
This looks like a men's collection,
yes,
to me. Apart from maybe the two last.
Well, it might be a man also. It might be a man also.
It has to be, doesn't it? I mean,
Well, Mr. Two, you said you know the person.
No, he's joking. Ariana lies. Ariana lies like as in.
Oh, okay, yeah, lies. Yeah.
Ariana liar. You know, Ariana liar. There's quite a few of. There's a few of her around, but is there a fourth line, Marco?
Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
Is there another? Is there a fourth row?
Right. So there's the rose gold aquanaut.
Oh my God, that's insane.
And she says,
I mean,
should I downsize, replace, or keep this? So, I mean, what do we think about the collection? I mean, this is heavy hitting.
Can I tell you something?
That's insane.
If this is the person's real collection, you don't need to change anything. What do you need to change?
Yeah, there's one thing I would change, honestly. There's only one watch I would change, personally.
Go for it. Fire away. Tell us what it is.
Which one?
I think it's the bottom, the last one. I really don't like the 56 collection from Vacheron. First of all, the entry-level time-only day model uses the same caliber that's in the Cartier Drive. I think that's a slap in the face from a Holy Trinity brand. So I would replace that. I mean, I would just get rid of it. You don't need it. You've got a Patek annual calendar. I mean, why would you need a Vacheron annual calendar? Just flick it and take the money and go on a nice vacation. And,
actually, KC raises a point here. That collection is all over the place. It actually is. It's doing my head in. It's going from extreme left to extreme right, and then it goes back to the middle and it takes off again.
It's got everything, you know. It's got all the basics.
It's just organized poorly in this photo, right?
It's just badly working.
No. If the Rolex, if the Roli were grouped together, we could kind of look at the Roli, then the Patek, and this looks like Mr. Wonderful's collection, right? I mean,
right.
The red Jaeger LeCoultre. How do you pronounce that? LeCoultre.
LeCoultre.
Yeah, just call it JJ LeCoultre. Just call it JJ LeCoultre.
I mean, aesthetically, I'm glad Marco mentioned all the movement characteristics of the Vacheron, which only the watch cardinal could do that.
Yes.
Aesthetically, I would flick. I think the Vacheron.
Right, Tommy. Just to answer this one very quickly. The Vacheron complete calendar uses the Vacheron in-house, doesn't it, Marco? Yes, it does. But the entry-level model uses the same caliber as the Cartier Drive. That's why I don't like the 56 collection. It's a slap in the face. How can a Holy Trinity brand use another what's it called? Another brand's movement. You know what I mean? To me, it's kind of a slap in the face, especially with respect to modern horology. That's why I don't like the 56 collection at all from Vacheron. And I would liquidate that and just keep the 10. You've got a perfect 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Plus another 6. You got 10-piece combo meal deal. You don't need anything else.
Yep.
That is like hard collection, man.
You guys ain't really buying this. Guys, we don't know if it's a real collection or not, but we're just reviewing it, right? What do we think of the collection? Makes for good entertainment.
I'm with Toyota Mo, man. I think, you know what? We're being played.
It's good entertainment, guys. Hey, I'd love to review collections like this.
But the thing is, I just like talking about it. Even if it's not real, it's just nice to talk about it. Like, imagine that'll be, for me, I would be more than over the moon happy to have that collection for myself. No questions asked.
100%.
I just really do. I really do like it.
But you know what? Every collection is flawed in some way.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I found it's not flawed. It's just missing. You could always add a piece, right?
Add a piece, yes.
Where's the Cartier? Fikers.
No, the Reverso. I mean, she's got a Reverso, right?
She does, but that's, to me. Look, I know that there's that get the watch that watch people get, which is the Reverso. But where's the Cartier?
She doesn't need Cartier in this collection. She's got much better watches. No.
Well, I'm saying if you had to do something, I mean, we have to talk about something.
Right. And the only other thing I would do, I would probably upgrade. No offense to Archie, but I would upgrade this World Time. That's the only other thing I would do.
Yeah, but I think we've all said that to him, but he doesn't want to.
Right. I would get rid of the Vacheron. I would
and
take
by the way,
a beautiful, all expenses paid vacation and get my feet massaged every morning, and then I would also upgrade this World Time.
What's the watch on the top right? The I can't see the dial on the black dial.
Oh, it's a Longa. It's an 1815 chronograph.
Because I was just gonna say, okay, so that takes care of the Longa. Got it.
Right.
Okay.
She's got everything.
Well, flip the Vacheron and upgrade to a better Vacheron.
No, she doesn't need 10 pieces. Look at that.
Well, this is a fake collection, so we could say a fake, we could pick a fake watch.
But yeah.
Oh, you could also, you know what? You could even go higher end,
Shane got it. Feet massage. You guys didn't get my reference. Come on,
Richard
guys.
Meal. Get a Richard.
Too slow on this. Too slow on this panel, guys. My feet.
There's a Richard Meal missing.
Oh, I just felt my future employment opportunity sink. It's okay, guys. No one's watching.
I got to tell you, that's true. It's too late. That Patek chocolate dial really is stunning.
Oh, man. What a watch. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, 10-piece combo Hunga Busta. I would get rid of this Vacheron. Doesn't make sense in the collection since we've already got a annual calendar, and just upgrade this to a 5230G. Or since you've got all this supposed money, right? We'll say supposed, but let's be kind. Let's say this is your actual collection. I mean, you got a knockout collection. I would just get a Khaleesi dial, 5131J, I think is the reference. Or the 5231J? 5231J, that's the one. 5231J. The Khaleesi dial Patek. Let me pull that up, actually, since we're done. This is it. 5231J. All done with the collection reviews for the night. This is the Grail. That's it. After this, you don't need anything else.
That is beautiful. That is nice. Do you think Archie should get that?
I mean, you know how much this costs. I think the cost of his collection doesn't even cover this, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Well, what do they go for roughly? Just roughly, it doesn't have to be exact.
Oh, I think it's like 200 Canadian, 200,000 Canadian.
Whoa. Yeah, Archie can't afford that. No way. No way, mate.
That watch collection tells me one thing, that I need
correct me if I'm wrong.
I need more money.
I think we're all in the same boat there.
I know, right? We are.
But. Nothing Asian Hoarder says, review my collection, got all sport Rolex except for the Yachtmaster 2 and Skydweller. Marco, read my soul. Hey, send it to me on, what's it called? On my email, watchcardinal99@gmail.com, if you don't mind. Just so I can pull it up very quickly.
I had the option to buy this watch that you've got on screen 2 months ago. It was a used piece. It was at the Patek dealer, local Patek dealer. They have, what do they call it? Pre-loved, or basically used watches. And I think the price was like 110,000 Australian. And I thought, meh, it's probably a big premium if it's coming from an actual Patek dealership. But sure enough, it sold the very next day. And apparently they had 3 different offers come in for it. So,
wow.
Okay, I missed out on that one.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll say this. A watch like this is really, really special. Not just because obviously the world time is probably, to me, the world time is the complication to get from Patek if you're going to go complication. And what's really special is the dial. So it's a cloisonné enamel dial, but it's this special artist. It's a female. I can never remember her name, but she's like a master enamel maker, one of the greatest ever. And she made all of these dials specifically. And so all of these ones are going to be very, very collectible in the future because she's the one who made them. And yeah, I mean, this watch is going to be a ridiculously expensive watch in 30, 40 years from now. But yeah, that's the collection review, Ariana. Hope you enjoyed the collection review.
But Mr. Two, when are you going to let us know what your plans are, my friend?
I will probably have to start thinking about getting ready to go out very soon because I'm about to go watch shopping.
Yes.
We're actually calling up on the 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's what I was about to say. Now, the nation, if anything, I'm going to review your collection the next time around. I think I'm going to wrap this show up on that. We reviewed 3 collections. We talked about the new releases. We talked about the disaster new releases, rather. And we talked about Mr. Chu and the valuable lesson I think we all learned as watch collectors. Sometimes it's good to venture out into the unknown, but there's nothing wrong with admitting that you like something in particular and sticking by it for the rest of your collection journey. Guys, I want to thank you all for coming on. Mr. GMT, our good captain, Mr. 2. I want to thank Lolex, Burbinghart for coming on. Yeah, guys, everybody in the chat, thank you all for joining me as usual. And we'll see you guys in the next buddy. And make sure everybody...
Take care, guys.
Get the
See
Rolex.
you later, everyone. Rolex.
Rolex.
Cheers, boys.
Take Hoya.